What's up, everyone? We're live. Neff is here. I'm here.
Woohoo!
Massie will join us, as well as Bryan, Nolen a little later on, maybe someone else as well. Neff, how are you?
I'm doing good, my friend. A little bit sweaty. The humidity is incredibly high here at the beach. We have some massive storms going through. About a half hour ago, my outdoor grill went sliding across in front of my back door on the back patio. So things are a little exciting, but it's a bummer for those folks at the Carolina Country Music Fest down at the beach because I'm sure they've been evacuated for the fourth time this weekend.
That is.
But we're ready to go. We're ready to go fast at Michigan. Can't wait.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Bryan Nolen, who'll join us a little later on, it is not raining, so NASCAR gets their wish. They do not look. They were cutting it close. There were rumors that they were going to race yesterday because of the weather, but it's a nice sunny day here at Michigan. But
for now,
and
there's rain. There's rain coming,
and
I promise you, they're still worried about getting to
and Neff. It's kind of going to be tight. They need to be in Texas by 5 p.m. tomorrow to get to Mexico City. I just have a question before we get to race picks. Why do you think NASCAR picked this weekend to do Michigan? Pick the farthest race possible between now and Mexico City just to make it as logistically difficult as they can.
Is this further than if they were at Sonoma?
I think to get to Mexico, it would be.
Maybe. Depends on which part of Texas they go across.
Well, at least when you're in Sonoma, you're connected to a state that
is abutted against Mexico. That's true.
Yeah, so you would just go through.
The even greater question is, why do we go Michigan, Mexico, Pocono? Because Pocono's next weekend. Were we really thinking this out? I don't think so. I feel like there could have been some schedule juggling, but at the same time, most of these dates are set pretty much the same every year. You know, they juggle them a little bit, but for the most part, you have it at the same time, and these facilities build their entire year around those dates. So when they got the wild hair to go to Mexico, it would have upset the apple cart a little bit, having to juggle multiple dates around to make them. But again, would have been smarter to race at, I don't know, Kansas or Texas or Gateway rather than Michigan. So I'm with you on that.
I mean, just flip it. Do Michigan last week, Nashville this week, and you're kind of on the way.
It would have been closer.
So before we get to another thing, we want to get to race picks is Ram is back officially in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. There's rumors on who's going racing with them, whether it's Spencer Gallagher or Cletus McFarland. But ultimately, the announcement, which was spoiled yesterday by Fox during the broadcast, is official. Neff, your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm happy to have another OEM in there. The more, the better. And I'm a little annoyed at the fact that they're pushing the Hemi is back thing when they're actually not going to have the Hemi in racing. It's just back in their offerings for their passenger vehicles. But it's cool having Dodge back. I've been sad that they left, but you know, the climate has changed, as they like to say, and it has come back around, and it's going to be beneficial for them to be part of NASCAR. And so they're back, and I'll be curious because didn't Keselowski run Dodge early on in the truck series before his Penske days?
Well, Penske was a Dodge team.
Right. True. I forgot that. Because that's what I remember. I seem to remember Keselowski's truck team being Dodges and then going to Fords.
Yeah, I think they were, when he was with Penske, they were a Dodge team.
It would be curious to see RFK switch back to Dodge.
But RFK was never Dodge. They were always a Ford team.
Oh, I know. Oh, absolutely. And that would be a big
partner with, you know.
If you have Jack Roush go to go to Dodge, that would be an enormous story. Absolutely.
And it used to be Roush Yates.
Because it's
right?
Roush Yates.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, still Roush Yates. Still Roush Yates.
You're not going to have
Would be the
Doug
thing.
Yates leave Ford. I'm going to take the bold claim here.
I would be willing to make 1,000% bet on that one. Doug Yates is never going to leave Ford. Truth. I hate they didn't leave the Goodyear blimp silver. I thought they would have left.
Well, they only did that for the 100-year anniversary of it.
Why? But this year is the 100-year anniversary of the blimp.
At least the blimp is at the race.
Silver. It's been cool. Oh, absolutely. I hate that we don't get it in the early part of the year. That's frustrating to me. I don't understand why it's not at every NASCAR race.
Well, it's kind of
because that was always a thing. When the Goodyear blimp showed up, you knew you were at a big event. Rose Bowl, Super Bowl, Indy 500. The blimp showed up, you knew it was a big deal. Daytona, you always had the blimp showing up because it was a big deal. And now the blimp only shows up if they're going to use it for the overhead shots.
Do you want to shoot?
Stenhouse is sponsored by beer this weekend. Is that a greater chance of hold my beer action against Hocevar?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. That's not just any beer. That's the Hulkster's beer, brother.
Yeah. No.
So
I saw some reel yesterday where he showed up at some random bar for some event. He pulls up in his pickup truck and gets out. And his girlfriend was sitting there waiting on him. That was the weird thing for me. I'm like, why did she not ride with him? It was very strange.
Update here. Tyler Reddick will have to start at the rear. We also got the Busch Apple car. So, speaking of beer.
Praise Jesus.
So.
The Apple car is always beautiful.
All right. Good news is we don't have to do that dumb pausing stuff. Reminder, you can leave your comments throughout the race. Well,
please let us know you're here. Let us know you're watching. 6 people on board already. Thank you all so much for being here. Y'all are the best.
All right, I gotta get adjusted. I'm like in podcast mode. I gotta turn towards the TV and turn this towards this.
In a better. You just want to put that damn Kelsey jersey in the background is all it is. I know.
It's a good flex.
Yes, it is.
Oh, quickly, Neff.
Gotta enjoy it while you're defending World Series.
Who did you pick?
I picked Blaney, but in reality, I honestly think this is going to be the day Kyle Busch breaks through.
I picked Bubba Wallace. I think
because Busch had good long run speed, but his short run speed was off, and then he goes second fastest.
I know practice was weird.
Yeah. Just like the truck race. That whole truck race was a freaking abject disaster.
Green flag out. Chase Briscoe, 3rd straight pole. But it looks like Kyle. Nope.
When's Chase gonna step up and just go full shaved head? It's time, man. You gotta let it go.
There, Briscoe powers on the outside.
Chris Bell over 8.5.
Is Hamlin in the Yahoo car? Over 8.5 position, meaning like
Coolhard. Meaning he bet that he's going to finish 8th or better.
Yeah, or 9th or better. He's going to finish. He's going to finish 9th or worse. So it's over 8.5, meaning the number will be more than 8.5.
Yes, 9th or worse. So yeah, I'd say you're in a better position for that because he's currently 25th. Yeah, I knew he was starting way back, and it's going to be a sprint race to midway. So we will see. Kyle Busch
hopefully a full race.
I'm hoping, but there was a big old green.
I want either two things. I want the full race to happen, or I want NASCAR to be in a panic and it not get to halfway, and then the rain comes. Because who wouldn't want team chaos?
I'm all about chaos. Chaos is good for TV and watch parties.
Buscher's been really good here, so that's another name to watch. Got 2 pink cars in the front.
Hey, before we get too far in, big shout out to my buddy Nick Hoffman. Finished third last night in the Dream at Eldora. Put it in the fence early on. Damage to spoiler, was a lap down. Came from DFL on the field to finish third. To Jonathan Davenport, Superman, got his 11th major win at Eldora, 22nd overall at Eldora. And Bobby Pierce was second.
Reddick is moving. He's up 16 spots already.
How about not a single open car in this race today? It's all charter cars.
No. There are open cars in this race. Technically,
I see where you went with that.
There are 6 open cars in this race.
Theoretically.
Well, actually, technically, it doesn't go into effect for another week.
I say it's not officially there yet.
So half
Kyle Busch fast lapping race.
All right, we're at like the halfway point, but there are 6 almost open cars in this race.
Almost open cars, yes. But in theory, every car that is in this race is a chartered car. Hosivar in 9th. That was a horrible call on him at the end of the truck race yesterday.
Yeah, I tend to it. So I was like loosely watching the truck race on my phone, and I saw that part, and I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even a third of a car width out of line from where he was. There's no way that was making a move that early. That was a bad call. 3 wide, going into 3.
Hi, Dylan.
Ty Dillon, looking sporty.
Slide down.
Slide down, slide down. And we're going to have the early race parade against the front stretch wall. Byron trying like heck to make it brown on Briscoe, but right now it's just a parade. .201 into turn 1. Now, my question is, you think we're going to have any tire issues today? Because there were a lot of left side tire problems during practice yesterday.
Yeah, maybe there's enough grip now on the track after the truck race that it'll be okay.
You would hope. .200 laps, 2-mile track.
It's 400 miles.
Yes, it is. 100 miles shorter than it should be.
Back in my day. So, reset here. Briscoe, as they went to commercial, and I couldn't see the whole lineup. But I can look at Briscoe, Byron, Hamlin, Busher, Bush, Barry, Gibbs, Larson, Hocevar, Blaney, your top 10. And now here's the Ram commercial.
And a safe bet that Stenhouse is not going to be doing anything to Hocevar anytime soon, as Hocevar is in 9th and Stenhouse is in 39th. You know who you need to keep an eye on today is Zane Smith.
Yeah,
He's been here in a cup car before and had a very good race. Let's see what he does. Cletus going to be driving a Ram. Get that YouTube money in NASCAR. Oh, I take it back. Stenhouse is in 30th. My bad. I misread that. Byron trying to make that low line through the corner, get a little bit of edge. He got a little bit closer to Briscoe to slap. But yeah, as I started to say earlier, Briscoe's got to make the commitment. He's got to go full on shaved head because that look he's sporting now is not working.
Biggest takeaway from today's race. What's his name? Briscoe should go bold. Got it.
Yep. Byron's got the advantage going into turn number 3. Slide job! Slide job! New leader, 24.
There we have it. William Byron takes the lead.
What race did I see stats on? A couple, I think it was Charlotte, that tried to claim there were like 56 lead changes. And I'm like, no. Lead changes are at the start-finish line. We don't do this. He got a nose ahead in the entrance to turn 1. The other guy's a nose ahead at the entrance to turn 2.
I think it would be when they hit the scoring, like if a guy has the lead in the scoring loop and then takes the lead, like
that's what they try to report. That's their loop data statistic, lead changes. But in reality, it needs to be a full car length.
You mean a full lap? Like at the start finish line.
Well, he got to be ahead at the start finish line, but I also think you have to be a full car length ahead in order for it to truly be a lead change. When it's just like half a car length, car length back and forth.
What if if Byron, the way Byron did this pass, and he gets a nose ahead by the time we're at the start finish line, he led that lap, but technically then did
Briscoe get it back,
and then Briscoe get it back in that corner? Would you count that as how many lead?
I personally would not. I think you have to have your back bumper clear the front bumper of the other guy,
even though he led the lap.
Right. That's my call on it. I know that's
Cowboy said he hit the wall in turn 1.
Well, that's no good. Lost a spot. Let Barry get ahead of him. What is on Barry's car? So that say, I would hope that would say Motorcraft since we're in Michigan. It looks like Motorcraft on the sides, but the hood doesn't look like it's got the Motorcraft logo. That's weird.
I think this is the throwback car for their first win in Michigan.
Got it.
Chris Buescher to third place.
Boucher in a fabulous paint scheme, by the way. Heinz ketchup, very nice look.
Well, it's not, but it's like the Korean flavor. It's not actual ketchup. You know?
Nice. Shout out to Ed Lane, Ty Gibbs in 7th.
By the way, we are seeding these races, by the way.
Oh, we are up to seed time, aren't we?
Yeah, so it's your best finish in these 3 races. So William Byron wins one of these 3 races, and someone doesn't win 2, he clinches the number 1 seed because it's the tiebreaker's points.
Oh, so it's just your best single finish and not average finish?
So, like, what it will be is, like, first. If you're tied there, then, like, they'll go to your next best finish. So it'd be, like, second. And then it's, like, then it's points. And then it's, like, I think that's how it is. I'm pretty sure, based off what I read. It looks like the Toyotas do not have good long run cars. Because Buescher is now second, so Briscoe has fallen. Hamlin has fallen at least 1 spot, and then Wallace, who's also in the top 10, fell 1 spot, or fell in a couple spots. But Gibbs is 8th, so. So just pay attention to it.
Blaney is making tracks.
Hey,
Hey.
what's going on? Oh, we lost Trey. Trey left just because I joined.
He's probably doing something special.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a special kind of guy. So I must admit, Mr. Massie, and I don't know that I'm just teasing something for the fans that are listening, but we have something coming out in the near future on Frontstretch that is a ranking of the top 10 future prospects that are in the pipeline. I was rather surprised that I was the only person with a Brexton Bush mention so far.
Well, I think not everyone has submitted yet.
And I am a little disappointed in myself that I didn't think to have Keelan Harvick in there, because Keelan Harvick should be a top 10 prospect.
See, I feel like I'd put Keelan before Brexton right now, just because
like I said, I should have had Keelan in there.
Yeah,
I probably
he's racing at a higher level right now.
I mean, he's run a late model and won a race for
exactly. And how old is he? He's like 12.
No, he's 15, I think.
Was he 15?
14 or 15.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, because he was born like 2011, something like that.
About time you showed up.
Man.
He was practicing music.
Exactly.
He doesn't do music, Neff. That is
yes,
cute.
He does.
Okay.
He has magnificent tunes. And by the way,
that's
Mr. Massie,
Puke Combs. That is Puke Combs, sir.
Mr. Massie, I have a pair of bongos now, so I can hopefully.
Oh boy!
I can hopefully
so Puke Combs
collaborate with you.
Puke Combs and like what do we call him? Like Remy Buffett.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. By the way,
Jimmy Buffett.
Massie, who was your pick to win this race? By the way, before we started.
Oh, in our Frontstretch picks, I picked the Michiganders to bookend the field of Carson Hocevar winning, and Brad Keselowski being the worst Michigander.
Hey, I picked Kez for the worst too.
I think I picked Jones.
And where are they running right now? Hocevar 9th. Where's Jones? They just went to commercial race. I was looking.
It's up top. Jones is 20th. And I can tell you what Kez is.
Jones 20th, and I haven't seen Kez.
No, I'm looking at the
23rd for Kez.
Okay, it's a tight battle between those two. They're pretty close. You guys are like a little bit ahead of me, I think.
It'll change.
But no, now if I just
take
look
that
it
back,
up,
Mr. Massie, you are accurate. Keelan is 12 years old.
Wow. And he turns 13 1 month from today.
Good call.
Oh yeah, because we're so inside baseball here. We are working on our top 10 prospects list. And Neff got his out ahead of time. So he may I'm not going to reveal his whole thing because it's not at my place to do so. But he may or may not have Keelan Harvick in his top 10.
We were just having that conversation while you were off the studio.
Yeah, he said.
So yes, I mentioned that I'm the only person that mentioned Brexton Bush in my top 10.
Oh, that was it. It was Brexton. I have Keelan Harvick on my list.
I did not list Keelan, and I should have. I should have had.
Good news is the deadline is not today, so I still got time.
Mm-hmm. Still could change.
Yeah. And joining us now.
Oh, no.
Is Bryan Nolen.
Well, I gotta go, guys. This is fun.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Wow.
Hey, Neff.
Yeah, you got to go anyway, Massie, because you don't have a hat on. Come on, dude. Get with the branding.
The hat's out.
I was even 2 more minutes late because I had to go and get this.
I did take a lunch time. I grabbed this shirt to wear for it. Neff, have you seen this shirt?
I have not.
It's it was celebrating the Indy 500 and the Pacers being in the conference finals on the same day.
The 1-0.
Which they really shouldn't do, just so you know.
What?
Because apparently the Pacers have played either 3 or 4 times on the same day as the Indianapolis 500, and they've never
lost.
won.
They've lost.
They've lost.
They lost that game too.
Yes, they did.
But they can't really dictate the NBA schedule, so.
Right. That was their. Wait, where did that series end at?
It ended in 6. Pacers 1-6.
That was one of the only 2 they lost.
Yeah.
Because they lost game 3 and game 5.
To see what the look at Busher putting the pressure on Byron.
Yeah.
RFK's good, man. Except, it may just be Busher that's good because Keselowski and Priest.
No, Priest has been good this year.
I meant today.
Priest has had some good runs.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just don't look at this as a Priest track.
I look at this as a Busher track.
Exactly. Well, and then Busher won here 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years because Reddick won last year.
Mm-hmm. But
do
you guys know what team was the last Chevy team to win at Michigan? Without looking, don't look it up.
Like
what Chevy, like Hendrick or not Gibson? Trackhouse.
Is it a team that is no longer existing?
They exist, but not in Cup.
Not
in NASCAR,
but not in Cup.
Not in NASCAR at all.
Oh, I get it. I know who it is. I think.
Is it Chip Ganassi?
It's Chip Ganassi's the last Chevy to win at Michigan.
Nailed it.
Kyle Larson.
Is that Larson?
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
Like that. Think about how long that's been.
Well, my guess was going to be Junior because it's been a while.
That's what I was thinking at first until Massie said they run a different series, and then I was like, oh, okay.
No, he said they don't run in the Cup Series.
And that changed the NASCAR.
At first, I was thinking of a Cup team that went back to Xfinity, and I was like,
I was thinking Haas, and then I was like, Haas has never run a Chevy before, so.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Well, they did. When they first started.
Oh.
Remember, they were with Rick Hendrick.
Oh, yeah, they're basically like a Hendrick B team.
Sorry, when I think of Haas, I think of Stuart Haas.
Yes, Stuart Haas when they first started.
Really? Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick.
Tony Stewart won his title. Both of them won titles as Chevys.
My bad.
Honestly, you could argue them going to Ford was a mistake because they never won a championship. Well, they should have won the 2020 championship.
But they got way more support and way more money, I think.
Yeah. And they were their own team. They weren't like a Hendrick satellite.
Harvick really should have won that 2020 championship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'd help if you make the finals.
Not wrong enough.
I'll tell you.
So it looks like Brexton is 10, near as I can cobble together, although I don't know his exact birthday.
So we could see Keelan make his truck debut in 3 years.
How old is he? 12?
He turns 13 next month.
Yeah.
Storm says hi, Brian.
Hi, Storm.
Hi, Storm.
She didn't say hi to you.
Brian, are you coming to her birthday party is what she said?
You guys want to fly me out there? Sure.
No, I can't afford that.
Where do you live, Nolen?
Idaho.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Why?
I've always lived in Idaho now.
Why? You work for Sensi or something?
Have you ever been to Idaho, Neff?
I've seen pictures. I have not been there. But when I go, I will go to Meridian Speedway to see it. Because
hell yeah, you will. Track. That place is awesome.
That is a great track.
It is a fantastic track. 3/8 short track, beating and banging. Oh, it's great.
Modifieds.
Oh, yeah.
There are modifieds out there.
Does Arco West still race there?
No. They used to. That's where Haley Deegan won her first ever race.
Too far for him to drive now.
Pit stop.
Does Cars Tour West race there?
They should.
Right?
Suarez. Again, too far to drive.
He's naked.
He's got on his jockeys. What are you talking
That's
about?
the thing. Like, I just don't think a Cars Tour West can really work because everything's so far apart.
Yeah. It can only be at Kevin Harvick owned tracks.
Yeah.
Don't they go to the Las Vegas dirt track or the Bull Ring or whatever?
Yeah, they go to the Bull Ring.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to get crazy and run some dirt, there's some quality dirt tracks in California.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that
Can't go to Irwindale anymore, though, because they just decided to shut that down.
I think since we're not going to Southern California anymore, we should go to Kern, Kevin Harvick's track. That looks pretty fun.
Once they get their ducks in a row and they put Fontana down to a short track, we'll go back there.
But in the meantime,
Neff, there's a better chance of me winning the lottery than that track being built.
You think?
Yeah.
What is on?
I want to see him actually run through the warehouses, like actually
cool.
kind of going through the tunnel at Monaco. They go through the warehouses.
You can just see like Amazon workers putting boxes up and everything, then just like
190
miles an hour.
They come tearing through with their freaking cars.
Exactly.
Boys, new leader, Chris Buescher, 17.
Man, you're so far ahead of me.
Well, we're not doing the delay thing this time. We gotta catch up. We did that last time. It was a major pain in the rear end because Lyle would get us on pace, and then he'd go to the bathroom and come back, and would always be back at the beginning again. We had to keep trying to get him to pause to keep us so Wyatt Watson was up to pace.
The thing is, I don't know how like some of us are ahead when we're all streaming it. That's the thing.
Well,
because we have different streaming providers.
Well, Wyatt had a different streaming provider. I'm using.
Oh, okay. So Wyatt's was illegal then.
Wyatt uses something thing.
Wyatt used something that rhymes with Reem Weist. And
oh, that's a good one. I used to use that for all my former WWE pay-per-views, like when I was like 10.
Yeah, and now all you need is the cock for WWE pay-per-views.
That is crazy. I mean, then again, it's
shout out to R-Truth, by the way.
Speaking of which,
like Prime is
speaking of cocks, go ahead, Neff.
Yeah, speaking of cocks, I just happened to notice on my bank account statement today that they hit me for my annual subscription at $86
for Amazon Prime.
No, for the cock.
Oh,
I gotta because that was I got the annual deal when they had it for $4.99 a month. I think it was.
Yeah.
Neff, are you saying they jacked up?
And now all of a sudden they whacked me at $86.
Jeez.
They jacked the price on my cock up. Makes me angry.
It's over. We had a good run, boys.
Well, speaking of, no, I can't even segue into.
That's what she said.
I can't even segue. How about Chris Buescher, man?
Anyway, the race is back on, and Chris Buescher's leading in the.
As Mr. Nolen observed, this is a Buescher type track.
In the flavored ketchup car.
Here comes your pass for the lead.
Win this stage.
Buescher down to the line, wrapping the corner, as they like to say in the young kids today.
Bryan, have you checked the weather forecast recently for your chaos scenario?
Let me see. Hold on.
It's gonna rain today.
Oh,
I feel like it always rains in Michigan. It feels
it's coming.
I hope.
Okay, so Buescher's 14th in points. Those 10 points will leapfrog him over Austin Cindric.
Nolen, have you ever been privy to my all-time fantasy chaos moment in our current playoff scenario?
I don't think so.
My dream, should it ever be able to happen, we get to Phoenix, Homestead, wherever we decide to have the final race. Qualifying gets rained out. So your final four cars are first, second, third, and fourth in the starting lineup. They drop the rag, they hit into turn one, and whoever's in the lead loses it, and all four of them get wadded up into the outside wall.
Yep. 1,000%.
So now we get to sit here and watch them in the garage trying to piece their cars back together. You know NASCAR is going to waive the DVP. Because there's
1,000%.
no way they're going to let the pole sitter win the championship when he's the one that caused the wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to spend 30 or 45 minutes watching these guys in the garage, not even paying attention to the actual race on the track while they try to piece this back together to make something out of the championship. That is my
love
dream
that.
scenario for the playoffs. It
That
would be magnificent.
so awesome.
You
It
see
would
him,
be magnificent.
you see him go out there like looking like a modified, and they turn a
God.
lap, and they'd be like, "That's not minimum speed. Come back in, work on it some more."
That would be so. Oh my
There's
gosh! I
freaking
really
bear
want that to
bond
happen
all
now.
over everything. They got the back end taped up like when Earnhardt flipped at Daytona and came back out. It would be magnificent.
It would be so cool, dude.
God, I just like I pray that we get 17 winners at some point in time. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. But you always have all these announcers about he won, he's in, he won, he's in, and then the day's gonna come where he won and he's not in. They have to explain that to all these casual fans.
Who do you guys think is gonna get a better run first, Ty Gibbs or Alex Bowman? Because both have been terrible.
Right
Bowman.
now, I'm going with Gibbs because Bowman has been running like a bag of hammers, man.
Yeah,
I'll say Bowman. I'll say Bowman.
Yeah,
I'll
I
say
think
Gibbs.
Bowman as well.
When do we go to
Any of them
Phoenix?
aren't gonna
Like
do good
4
anytime
weeks?
soon, but
Phoenix, the end of the year.
I thought we had 2 Phoenix races.
They already
Yeah,
had the
no,
first
it
one.
already
Oh, did we? Damn. My bad. I slept since then. Because I was going to give Bowman a shot if we go to Phoenix because Bowman's good at.
How about Chicago? He won there last year.
Nah, that was a fluke.
Yeah, there were circumstances like SVG getting racked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The Gisbergen's going to win that one again.
And then Reddick was faster.
Reddick,
than
I
him.
think, will
Reddick
win
hit
this
the
year.
wall.
And then
Didn't
you
that
always
race
got
end
the,
early?
you
'Cause
got
of
the Elliott
weather?
scenario too.
second year in a row, Trey.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be awesome if we could
So
run a
both
full
races.
category.
It'll be really nice if, like, we had a full race there.
Dennis tried to bunch it up here as they come to the green and white checkered flag, but it's not going to happen.
End of
Chris
stage
Buescher
number 1.
wins stage 1.
I do like the way that 11 car looks on a long run.
Dennis does look strong on the long run.
I'm
Briscoe
still
manages to
surprised.
hang on to 4th, while Josh
I'm-
Berry rounds out your top 5. I want to give thumbs up to Amazon for showing all 10 of the finishers at the stage. Thank you for listening to me. I've been bitching
Can you
about
guys?
that for-
Can you just
for 2
imagine
weeks.
how angry people are gonna be at TNT when like none of this is gonna be like on their broadcast because it's like cable and everything.
Here's
Like,
the
they're-
thing. I have faith in TNT, and I know it was inside the NBA, but TNT is known for long post-race shows. That's why Inside the NBA was so good. Also, they've pushed Max so much that I think they're just going to keep it going on Max at worst, like NBC
Maybe.
does.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I hope.
But, like, you're gonna lose like Edwards and LaJoy. So I wonder what they do instead. I guess they do have like a studio host, right?
I think it'll be Kligerman and Jamie Mack.
Yeah, I think it's
Right?
Kligerman and Jamie Mack with
Oh yeah.
Trotta, with Danielle Trotta.
As long as we're not bringing Chris Myers back for freaking crap.
Hey, Chris Myers will keep calling it the Daytona 500.
Chris Myers doesn't know how to eat a freaking hot dog. I cannot possibly deal with that, dude.
Yeah, that was rough.
That
How
was
does
one of
he
the
eat a
worst
hot
things
dog?
I've ever seen in my life. What?
How does he eat a hot dog?
Sideways. He literally held the thing sideways and bit into the middle of the hot dog.
What an animal.
Yeah, it was one of the
Rawr.
most disturbing things I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it.
Meow.
Well,
Like, how do you live to be 60-something years old and you don't know how to eat a hot dog? That's absurd. Nice job on the
And-
banner at the bottom, Trey Lyle. Good
Thank
job.
you. There's your end of stage 1 right there, the finishing order.
Wow, did you spell? You spelled. I think you spelled everything right. Proud of you.
It-
Oh, no, I didn't
Wow.
get that carried away.
Logic Tech is putting a lot of money.
By golly, he did.
Wow,
All 10 of
good
them.
job,
And
brother.
all the numbers are in order, too.
Oh, nice.
Thumbs up.
Shout out to copy and paste.
Fantastic. Way to
There.
go.
Looking at the 10, 20, 30, 40 lap averages, Buescher, and Chris Buescher.
Oh.
And there you have that. What shirt do you have on today, Mr. Lyle?
Your favorite.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Hey, the way you held it up, you couldn't see the lower part of the D.
Same.
And it looked like
I was
a
very
different letter.
concerned. I
Looked
was
like his
very
driver
concerned.
said the N-word.
Oh.
Yep.
That's
Like his
that's the
driver
rookie
said
ticket.
the N-word.
That's the Ricky Stenhouse car, guys.
Pancakes.
That's not me. That's the Ricky Stenhouse car.
We got to make a drinking game out of pancakes. Every time pancakes come on, we got to take a shot.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
What's
All
the deal?
disease.
The Bell commercial is weird. He's showing his prom from like 2012.
Wow, not as many people as I thought would be at Michigan. Why are we showing Suarez during the national debt relief splash screen? I feel like they got to time that better.
It's like, I won't say. I won't say. All right. Trey's making me hungry now. I'm gonna go get some food.
Oh, come on, Michael.
I did not bring any snacks with me today. No snacks.
Why?
Nolen, did you hear that I was integral in Chastain winning the Charlotte 600?
Really? How
Yes.
so?
He pushed the gas pedal.
During the break at the end of the third stage, I had a snack of watermelon. And Wyatt Watson goes, "Uh-oh, you have blessed it that Chastain's going to win."
There you go.
And by golly, he turns around and does it.
There you go.
Everybody is coming to pit lane except the Carter's lap down.
Is there? I thought there was only like one car lap down. Suarez.
There's either one or two.
Okay.
And everybody else came in. I believe 2 cars that I saw go past pit entrance.
Only one car's a lap down. It's Suarez.
Luckily for Kyle Busch, he is at an opening coming out of his pit stall after the second place qualifying effort. Hopefully that will help him today. He's off and moving. Looks like he's going to be about 6th or 7th out of pit lane. 6th. You race off pit road. Blaney grabs the top spot. Hamlin second. Hocevar third. And then they swung away. Oh, nice catch by the front tire guy to keep the gas can from going outside the pit box on Hamlin.
Oh, yeah, good.
Hamlin's gas man is going to have to start doing some work.
Mm-hmm. I just saw that myself. Good.
Did you see the Stacking Pennies episode where Flores broke down why he had the problem with the gas can at Charlotte? It was very interesting. They showed the replay of Hamlin coming in. He slid about 5 feet past where he was supposed to stop. So the gas man had to catch up to the car and engage. But afterwards, when he went to do the exchange guys can't move down with him because the pit box is there. So he's got to go back to get the can. And by the time he got back, the left side of the car was already in the air. And so as he went to make the engagement, he got what Flores referred to as crossover, where fuel gets into the vent hose, and that slows the flow down by like 50 to 75%. And that's why on that last pit stop at Charlotte, they ended up not getting it full of gas because of how that broke down.
Gotcha.
That's one of the things I love about Flores is he breaks down this pit stop stuff like nobody. It is really cool. Because you never got that on DBC because they didn't have anybody that was a pit crew guy.
True.
But he's a tire changer, so he always breaks that stuff down. And you still get the driver perspective because he's the king of the indoor midget races in the Northeast at the wintertime. He's got the most indoor midget wins of anybody in the Northeast.
Wow. Okay.
And now he runs a freaking modified at Bowman Gray, which is cool as well.
Right on. So I'm looking at timing and scoring, and they
say hello to Rebecca. Hey, yo, Rebecca. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Rebecca. Thank you so much. I'm looking at timing and scoring, Neff, and they just put Keselowski in last. Like, did he come in for another pit stop or something?
Battery had a penalty.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Well, it looks like according to time and scoring, Cody Ware did not pit.
I was joking with, or Lyle was joking with me earlier because there's, according to the pre-race stuff, there is no open cars in this race. It is all chartered cars. And Lyle's like, no, technically, we've got 6 of them that are because of the decision. And I said,
Technically,
no,
yeah.
technically, that doesn't go into effect until
No,
next
no,
week.
I said technically doesn't go into effect next week.
So that was
So.
a little humor.
No other yellow yet, Rebecca. The only moment of this race so far was Suarez, who had a flat tire, had to pit early, and he's a lap down.
And while you were gone, we did welcome Rebecca because she said, "Hey yo."
I heard.
We said,
Yeah.
"Hey yo." Oh, really? You leave your audio up?
Yeah, I can
That's
hear.
cool.
I have headphones. I was
I thought you went to the bathroom.
No, I went and got a snack.
What kind of snack we got?
My
jalapeno,
cheddar jalapeno Cheetos.
I'll raise you. I just like the Pringles regular.
Have you seen the new limited edition Pringles?
What kind? I don't. Maybe potentially. What kind?
Beer can chicken, beer basted beef, and then I also got cheddar fries the other day, but that's not a limited edition. That's a normal flavor. But beer basted beef and beer can chicken, both of them are a thumbs up.
By the way, while this is going on, the French Open is 5 hours long.
Is that still going?
Yeah, I just got a notification got over.
Did you see that? Alcaraz was down 5-3 and 40 love at the end of the 4th set. Came back to win the game, came back to win the set in a tiebreaker, and moved it on to the fifth set of the match. It was amazing. And Sinner, after the first game, was kind of limping, like he had pulled something. So it'll be surprising if Sinner can turn around and pull that thing off.
Interesting.
So how many people read the side of Denny's car and in your head it goes, Yahoo? It's got all those zeros going on the side.
I'm going to now, so thank you.
You're welcome. Glad I could put that in your head. By the way, Nolen, did I confirm for you? 14 hours and 51 seconds was the Christmas watch party day.
Psychotic.
It was it was magnificent, man. I had so much fun.
You are incredibly insane for it, but I mean, massive props to you. That's wild.
And we were talking last week. The thing that needs to happen now is, I don't know, Stafford, Thunderbolt, Wall, somebody on the East Coast that is local short track needs to put on a big short track race that Sunday morning to make it the 3rd race since Monaco's leaving.
Yeah.
That would be a great way. I mean, you could have first or even.
Well, there will be 3 races that day. Did you not read the Athletics' recent report about the F1 schedule?
Well, yeah, it's going to be some BS F1 race. I don't want that to be the 3rd
not
race.
Just not just anywhere. It will be Canada.
Yeah, who cares? Nobody cares.
No, not just. There's a caveat to this. The timing of it would be head to head with the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, all morning. Have fun. Enjoy your viewership on that F1.
2
hours, 38
hours after the Indy 500, but I mean, still.
All 38 people that watch your race, that'll be a wait.
It'd be 2. No, it wouldn't. It would have to start what, 3?
Yeah, the Indy 500 started at 12:45.
Yeah, so it would, the finish the Indy 500 would be on while you're like.
Yeah,
I would not be shocked if the F1 race starts and finishes before the 500 ends.
Yeah, I know that. I was saying the start. The Indy 500 would start before Formula 1.
Yeah.
Yes, it's stupid.
Still a bad idea.
Beyond stupid.
No, you need to have
green
a
flag,
short track race that starts at 9:00 on Sunday morning.
I'm going to get snack. Hold on, bro. Back.
Green flag back out.
Green flag is out. Ryan Blaney to the lead comfortably as they come spilling out of turn 2.
Lars is that's Hamlin. Hamlin and Hocevar.
Hocevar is in second. Look at that. No, Hamlin's now in second. Boucher is in 4th. Elliott running at your top 5. Busch managed to hang on to his position.
Buescher got loose.
It's so much better when Wyatt's not screaming. Just saying. I love Wyatt to death, but man, when he gets excited, he gets loud.
Massie, you didn't. I was going to say, Bryan. What did Massie die again?
Yeah, Massie's having a struggle fest.
He may or may
think
not.
he's
If you have
having
any
some-
hangover cures, please let Michael Massie know.
I think he has some irritable bowel stuff going on.
Larson had a
Yeah.
good run off of 4 there.
Jack, what do you,
The hangover cure
Jack and
is
Cox, Jack and
elect-
Cox,
what is
Oh!
it called?
IBS. Ooh, 4 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide. Nope, 3. Still 3.
There's like 6 wide at some point there.
A lot of cars.
Let me find- There's a bunch of cars all spread out all over the place. It's the beauty of Michigan. And let me see. What is this stuff called? Hang on a second.
Oh boy, Briscoe almost got loose as a goose there.
It's called Electrolyte. Electrolyte. It is a, for lack of a better word, an energy drink. It's got a lot of sugar in it, but it's incredibly good at
It's
hydration.
like Pedialyte.
And yes, but for adults instead of using
Pedialyte's now
Pedialyte.
for adults.
But well, they're marketing it to adults, but it's still a kid drink.
I like
Yeah.
the Gregson paint scheme, man. He's got it's like a modern 99 Acceleride paint
Nice.
scheme a little bit.
But yeah, Riley Herb's giving a big
Reddick
shove going down there.
Reddick about to be back in the top 10.
Coming
At the
trailer
start at
park
the
girl
rear.
around the outside in homage to Eminem because we're in Michigan.
Man,
Eric-
Logano is falling.
My Eric Jones pick to finish as the last Michigan person does not look good right now.
Give it time.
Chase Elliott to
Don't
the
look now.
lead. Chase
New
Elliott.
leader, number 9.
If you hear that loud noise coming from Georgia,
God, please don't play that stupid siren thing.
3 wide for yep.
I keep waiting for some crazy Alabama NASCAR fan to go over there and like shoot that siren with a high-powered rifle.
See, you say that, and I would be like, no, that couldn't happen. But we,
That will absolutely.
can I finish? I didn't finish my story.
Go ahead.
I'm like, no, that couldn't happen. Then I think, what else happened in Alabama? Oh yeah, a human
they
being poisoned trees
100-something-year-old tree.
because they hated Auburn so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Denny Hamlin was sideways.
Sideways.
Oh,
Almost as
big
bad
run
as
from
the
Bubba
truck
Wallace.
race yesterday. Did you
But
see
he had
that
to back out of
sideways
it
in the truck
'cause-
race yesterday. Holy crap! Larson.
This is some
tight
good
battle with
racing.
Ned Boucher.
2311 now has 2 cars in the top 10. And Riley Herb's actually doing pretty well, 21st. Eric Jones in the top 10.
Boucher getting ready to lose a spot to the 38.
Come on, Zane Smith.
Zane Smith, I told you got to watch for him today, brother. He's good at Michigan. Whoa.
God, these runs are insane.
It's a serious lane change.
Big run from Kyle Busch. Oh, then nephew were right.
Yeah, he was.
What happened?
Massey does have IBS.
We'll just put it that way.
Really? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah.
That's magnificent.
Hamlin, we got 2 purple cars. Oh, caution! It feels great not to be 20 seconds behind when this happens.
Hold on, I got it muted. Hold on. You're on mute until I hear the caution. Waiting.
Are you watching on
Anytime
Prime?
now.
Bryan, if you don't answer this, then you hate Aaron Rodgers.
We all hate Aaron Rodgers. Alcaraz won.
Oh, caution!
How is he?
Okay, you're unmuted.
How are you that far behind?
Yeah. Who's your streaming provider?
I pressed the little button that says Prime right here.
Make sure you're not.
But what's your?
See if it says live on the
Are you
TV.
Are you on YouTube TV? Are you on cable? What are you on?
I'm on Amazon Prime.
Okay, so is it a Roku box? Is it a smart TV?
Yeah, smart TV.
Okay. Maybe it's just the way the TV's handling it. Who's your internet provider?
Sparklight.
Don't know what that is.
What the hell's a Sparklight?
No, make sure it says it's all the way live. That might be your issue.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hang on, I forgot the banner. My bad.
Yeah, it says live.
I wish I was trying to figure it out during the watch party if there's a way to change the color of the background just for the banner, not for the whole screen.
Yes, but it would. So if you go to style, I could do.
Yeah, see how it changes the bottom one too? I was trying to figure out just how to do the one that
No.
says caution flag.
But
Gotcha.
you just.
And you have to do it every time it doesn't link to the banner. Yeah, that's a bummer. I wish there was a way that just when you hit the banner, and that way when it goes back to green and you hit green flag, it would switch it to green. But that's too much effort. Just saying. Celsius commercial. What did I see? Something about Bridinger came out the other day. Something's happening for her. What kind of dog you got there, Mr. Nolen?
A French bulldog.
Oh, God, I got one of those stupid things, too. God. The dumbest animals. They're almost as dumb as a chow. Almost.
They sleep, they fart, they eat, then they repeat.
They eat cat poop like nobody's business. I'll give them that. You get some cat poop laying around and they are on it like a freaking monkey on a football.
5 hours and 28 minutes. Longest French match in French Open history.
Awesome. Well, look, now we're showing punches being thrown to advertise NASCAR because we don't believe that that's a good thing to show.
CCC.
The Gisbergen. Hey! Look who's back. Hopefully going to be able to leverage our Dude Wipe sponsorship that I'm working on.
I got a chicken biscuit with some homemade apple butter on it.
That'll help.
Homemade apple butter on.
All right, your front of the field fakes to pit lane. Looks like somewhere around 11th or 12th is the first car that heads down to the pits under this caution. Logano is on pit lane. Josh Berry.
I love their replay of the wreck that just showed like the two cars 50 miles away wrecking.
We have a lot of practice next week. It's going to be weird.
Brothers Pizza. It's going to be like the good old days, man. I miss
Literally.
the good old days when drivers showed up at the track on Thursday. You could actually get some time with them.
Yeah.
Instead of rolling in Saturday morning, doing all their corporate stuff, qualifying,
Leaving the track.
leaving, and then coming in on Sunday, racing and being gone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get to do any kind of interviews or any time with them.
Not at all.
So,
Go ahead, Trey.
Go ahead, Ty.
so is this? Shout out to Ty Tracy.
Shout out my boy Ty. It's my boy.
So, is this the season in NASCAR that has the most crossover in terms of tracks with Formula One? Because they're both racing at 2 tracks this year. I'm trying to think of a year when that would be possible. It'd have to be like they do Indy and then something else. But they didn't do the Indy road course.
Glen.
Oh, we used to go to Montreal.
Watkins Glen used to be in it, yeah.
Yeah, when I'm talking about the Cup Series, I think this would be the most. Typically, it would just be 1 track. Like, it would be...
But that's what I'm saying. Back in the day, they both ran at Watkins Glen.
Mm-hmm.
But that was before they had a road course at Indy.
So...
I thought the Formula One Watkins Glen thing was back in like the 50s or whatever.
And they are both in Miami.
I thought they had it up until the 70s. I may be wrong.
Well, NASCAR didn't go Watkins Glen to like 88 or something like that. Right?
Of course, the old man and the old man know this.
True that.
It's called history, Trey. I bet Trey was sitting
Yeah, embrace history, Trey.
Trey was like, I don't need to learn July 4th, 1776. That was before my time.
Who
I did.
cares about independence?
I know about July 4th, 1776.
Thank you, Ricky Stenhouse.
I learned about it from Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, but everybody on the watch party that was alive for the bicentennial, raise your hand. Thank you very much.
Well, now we're 50 years ago.
Yes, that was
Now we're
50
at
years ago.
250.
And we're at 250 now. Yes.
Were you alive for the centennial?
Probably.
No, I was not. My body feels like I was, but no, I was not.
Same.
Formula One ran from 61 to 80 at Watkins Glen.
Okay. It's a little more recent than I thought. I think Cup
NASCAR
started
ran at the Glen in 57, 64, 65, 86 to 2019, and 2021 to present. So in theory, in 64 and in 65, NASCAR and Formula One both ran at the Glen.
Okay. You're right.
So there we have that.
I
You
didn't
guys weren't
realize.
here earlier when I was talking to Trey that I wish they had left the Goodyear blimp silver for the whole year. Since they're celebrating the 100th anniversary, it would have been nice to stay silver all year instead of just for that one weekend. Here's your replay that's up closer there, Mr. Massie. Nemechek gets out of shape.
I'm seeing a replay of this Bread Street commercial.
Wow, and then Gregson just completely ran out of talent because Nemechek scared him.
But I didn't know. I maybe I knew at one point, but didn't remember that they ran Watkins Glen in like the 50s NASCAR. Makes sense, but
Man, Dennis and Larson almost had a moment there. Holy crap. And then Busher tried to wreck to avoid him. Formula One hasn't run COTA, have they? Or did they run it once?
I think they have.
they run it every year now.
They don't. Oh, yeah, they do.
Really? So then they do run that one. So
Yeah.
we've got theoretically Indy, although they don't run the road course for Cup back when they did.
You're talking just Formula One tracks in general, because
Yeah.
they don't run Indy anymore.
No, they don't. Which is a true sad state of affairs. Considering how much Indy had to change the character of the freaking facility for Formula One's demands.
Well,
pace cars down pit lane. We are going back to green.
I was reading about in the Indy Museum the Formula One race where they only had like 6 cars race.
Yeah, because of the tire thing.
The tires.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think wasn't that the same
buying a
year
ticket.
that I think that was the same year that Schumacher tried to make it a tie with Barrichello, if I remember right.
Welcome back, Trey Lyle.
Imagine buying a ticket to a race and only 6 other cars take the grid.
I'd want my money back.
Or
I
what?
know.
Keith thinking Carson Hosibar
Uh-oh.
gonna get the win
That's what I
today.
My
picked.
bad. Forgot to turn that on.
That's what I picked.
My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, back over here. Keith
There we
Hall
go.
bragging on the Hosivar. Good luck to you, brother.
Keith also bringing up a good point about Briscoe, but he's already 31st.
I don't know
He
what
hit-
it is about JGR.
Oh, we're wrecking.
Hold on.
We're wrecking. Sorry, that was
I-
for Wyatt Watson.
I have a bold claim. Briscoe might not be winning today.
That was for Wyatt Watson.
Bowman also will not be winning today.
Bowman is also not going to win today for those that were on the Bowman bandwagon. That is on the hook. That ain't
I know, I'm
Torres.
getting there.
Oh boy, they're gonna wreck right here. I bet.
Feels good to be in
Oh,
front
no.
this
Oh,
on the
year.
no.
plus side, thumbs up.
Oh, good lord!
Thumbs
still
up for
wrecking, guys?
Amazon to actually be. Amazon actually had the camera on the cars as they wrecked live. That was a good shot.
Good God, Bowman, he took a shot.
It might be why he wrecked if he was doing a shot.
Could be.
I hate you
Because it
so
was
much.
probably the IHOP commercial. He had to do a shot.
Mhm.
Bowman's out of the car at least.
Oh, there it is.
He said that was blanking big. How are you that far behind?
Jeff
Massie?
Gordon is flipping
I don't
off.
know.
Somebody.
You're like even more than me behind.
I'm gonna try to hit the fast forward button in a second. See if there's like maybe it paused when I wasn't looking or something.
That guy wasn't happy. Part of the Bowman group.
41 into 48. Oh, that is a hard
Cold
leg.
custard. So again, I believe that
Alright.
was Chase
Did-
Elliott too, wasn't it?
Do we know
No,
why
that's
Briscoe was in the back?
Suarez.
Did he
Jeff
get a
Gordon
pit-
is very disappointed.
Gordon's flipping off somebody. Watch his left hand.
Damn.
He's dropping
Hard.
the bird with the left hand.
Hard hit right on the nose. Oh, long pit stop for Chase Briscoe. That's why he was 31st.
I
Okay.
just hope he's all right. You know, he's got the history of
Oh yeah.
concussions now. Like once you get them, you get more.
Bang.
That's right. Once you got one, it's easier to get a second one. And those wheels were off the ground when he
Oh
made that
God,
impact.
that hurt to my heart.
Woofy.
Hard hit. Hard hit.
Woofy.
Briscoe's involved.
But
Suarez.
Briscoe, I don't think Briscoe made any contact with anything.
I
Right, Briscoe's
think Custer
all right.
clipped him.
Bowman said on his radio that was really effing big.
Red flag is out, by the way.
Yeah, that's
there we
that,
go.
Suarez.
I
Well,
think
that's
that
good.
was that the
Damn.
same spot they had to repair yesterday?
I thought yesterday was
Oh.
down in 3 and 4. I may be wrong.
They had to
They,
I mean,
But yeah,
obviously-
they had that.
yeah.
Who do you
Well,
guys think
right.
are-
if there's one part of the wall you have to repair and that type of hit happens again, you're probably gonna have to repair it again.
Yeah, if it happens in the same spot, for sure.
Keith, another point here. I like it.
Yep. Can't
Reddick,
dispute that.
Reddick's shown a lot of speed. Thanks, Keith.
Who do you
Appreciate
guys
your
put that
comment.
wreck on? I think it's Suarez's fault.
I'd like
I
to,
thought it was cold custard. Looked to me like cold custard lost it and took both of them out.
I think it was a racing incident.
Suarez came down like he didn't know there
One
was
of them
two cars
racing
involved.
deals.
One of them racing deals.
Why do we have the Visit Myrtle Beach logo on the inside of the backstrap?
It's kind of like the same reason why.
because everybody wants to go see you.
It's also kind of the
That's
reason why
wild.
like the New York Jets had Visit St. Croix on their like advertisements. They just get paid money to have someone sponsor them, and they do it.
There's the speedy. So they're not even repairing the wall. They're just putting Speedy Dry down.
Yeah, they're just having to put down 800 pounds of Speedy Dry.
Here it is.
Here we go.
Oh, I'd say it's Cindric's fault. It was Cindric into Custer, and then that's what happened. Watch it again.
Custer did get a bump from the Cindric.
So good at Which,
Yeah.
hey, we might be getting some speeding tickets if we keep getting red flags. By the way,
Love it. Come on,
Could
baby.
be. Could be.
and just for the context on why we're going to talk about Team Chaos here, NASCAR has to be in Texas by 5 p.m. tomorrow so they can get to Mexico City on time, because it's not as simple as going to the racetrack. They have to go through customs and all the.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have to literally like the border agents have to check their entire hauler.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then they
It's
have to
nothing
have
now.
a armed escort all the way to the track because it's Mexico and we have drug cartels.
Is that why that they're doing the hauler parking at like 3 a.m?
Probably.
Okay.
By the way, if you were to drive from Michigan to Mexico City, do you know how long it would take you?
I'm not going to answer because I saw the tweet, so I'm
I'm going to throw out 24, 25 hours,
35.
48. Oh,
35.
35 hours.
Gotcha.
That's just a day and a half almost of just straight driving. That's not even
well,
counting stop.
I think most teams now they have for these long trips they'll hire a second driver and ride
Yeah.
with the other guy. And
When they
they'll
go to
do-
Sure.
Vegas, they go to
Absolutely.
Vegas.
They
I
do.
always see 2 people have the
Yeah.
hauler drivers.
Absolutely, they do.
have
Now, to be
some-
fair,
some
back
jugs.
in the good old days when I
Yeah.
used to have an annual fishing trip to Western Ontario every year, we took 3 days going up, but coming back, I did it straight through. It was 30 hours from
Jeez.
Monaco,
Yeah.
Western Ontario to Charlotte, North Carolina.
I drove in
straight.
from Richmond, Virginia to Hiawatha, Kansas, and that took 2 days.
I could see that.
According to Dustin Long, this will be the 7th time in the last 9 races that Bowman has finished outside the top 25.
There you
I
go.
don't know. I know he's got a contract for next year, but
Yeah,
Casey
but the
Kane
rumors,
had a
the
contract.
rumors are already flying.
Casey
Shit,
Kane had a
Neff, the rumors
contract
were
for the
flying
next
last
year.
year.
So.
Well,
I think
okay.
I think
My
Scott
question,
just saved his job.
my question is, who do they replace him with?
I think it's a really
Hocevar.
good
That's the
candidate
rumor.
and Spire
The-
Motorsports.
the
to
rumor's
drive maybe
Hocevar.
7-7.
Cold
Okay.
custard. Walk
It would have been Haley, but Haley's not doing anything.
Well, that was the
Hey.
rumors. He'd get replaced by Haley,
Yeah,
Right.
no. The rumor now is Hocevar.
or
Casey
call-
Kane.
no, you call
Jeff
Justin Marks.
Gordon.
You call Justin Marks and say, "What's the buyout for Connor Zilic?"
Oh, he's not part of it. I could see them making a run at Ross,
Same.
maybe getting Ross. But Zillage, I think
I think
That
they
was
you
it.
have to try him
They're
Justin
fine.
Marks cold dead hand.
Was that Busher's crew chief there taking a swig off the Celsius? Let me know, Mr. Nolen, because you'll be coming up to it here in a minute.
Okay, hold on. Yep, that was Scott Graves.
Keith dropping his own opinion.
Yep, you're correct, Neff. That was Bush.
I was there
I
when
don't-
Denny called him
I
a
don't
hack.
I don't believe Busher has
Oh,
a
yeah.
Celsius deal.
I think
Maybe they-
Kroger is part of the.
They need to
Celsius
put some
partnership.
duct tape over that
No,
label.
they do. They do. Priest runs a Celsius car.
Oh, okay.
Really? I
Yeah,
did
he
not
ran a
remember that.
Celsius car.
They sell it at Kroger.
That's what I just
Well,
said.
Dude, they sell Celsius all over the planet.
Yeah,
dude.
but
that
no,
doesn't mean
Priest
that
had a
doesn't mean
Celsius
they're going
car.
to be
this
on
year.
everybody's pit box.
They sell it at the Bass Pro Shops.
I'm
That's
pretty
what
sure
I'm
they
looking
do.
at
It's
now.
checkout
Bass
line
Pro.
in the refrigerator.
See,
Somebody tell Keith Hall. Brandon
They
Jones is
ran-
not going to
see,
Hendrick.
they ran a 60 car.
There you are. I stand corrected, Mr. Lyle. You are
Keith.
always on.
Keith, I think
top
you're
of this
trolling
stuff.
here, bud.
Yeah, dude, you're stretching way too much now, Keith. The truck driver doesn't know where to take the Bowman car.
Sounds about right. Par for the course.
God, that was hard.
That was a big hit, man. No doubt.
That's what she
I'm
said.
surprised they haven't given us the
Again.
down the wall angle where we get to see the flex of the safer barrier at the moment of impact.
Michael Massie's in. Oh, sorry.
By the way, Trey, thanks for letting me have pole position there for like 10 or 15 minutes. I appreciate
You can
that.
keep it. It's fine. I don't care.
I know you always like that spot. I appreciate you giving it to me.
Just used to having that spot.
I know you
That
are.
hurts.
It's your comfort seat. I get it. I don't mind. Time to drink again. Here comes pancakes.
This looks different than the other pancake ad.
Oh no, it's coming. Give it a minute. Because now they get an order for
Oh, here we go.
catering, and then he jumps in the car. Then he
I think
comes
this
out.
is a good ad.
I think it's an absolute embarrassment.
I wonder if
How
we're going
is
to
it
be
good-
seeing our boy Steven
How,
Stump. on
how is a
Frontstretch.com.
good Southern boy advertising IHOP instead of Waffle House? There is zero.
Because they had to
excuse.
cut the check.
I love
There's
Waffle
no
House.
because they didn't pursue it properly.
I love Waffle House.
'Cause they could have got
I
Waffle
also
House
think-
if they had tried.
He's already promoting Hellman's mayonnaise when the one true mayonnaise is Duke's.
That's a true statement too. I bow to that.
Bryan, I bet, has no idea what Duke's Mayo is.
Not a clue.
By the way, Massie, when you disappeared for your irritable bowel situation, why didn't you go out and get your hat? Slacker.
The hat's in the car.
I
I
know.
was making food.
Oh, you were gone for 35 minutes. You could have gone out and got your hat.
Oh my god!
Slacker.
I think it was a stage break. I wasn't rushing to get back.
Exactly. All the more reason you could have
Yeah,
gone out to
and
your car
at the
to get
rate
your
you were
hat
going, you were going to come back for stage 3.
for stage 3. Fortunately, we had the red flag to delay it.
Well, let's see. It's currently
Yeah, that's
53 to go in stage 2. We got Elliott, Byron, Blaney,
Elliot.
and then I don't know the other ones.
Elliott, Byron, Blaney, Larson, Hocevar, Reddick, Chastain, Hamlin, Busher,
Okay.
Bell, and that's
Look
your
at
top
who's
10.
12th.
The Gisberg is in the top 15.
Bush 11, Zane Smith 12th, Wallace
There you go.
13th. Which this all got shuffled because of the restart and the wreck happened before it sorted out.
Right.
Did Bowman's car
Actually-
just like
Actually, I wonder, this is not the exact scoring because they probably passed a time loop and are disjointed. Because I'm pretty sure Wallace was ahead of Reddick when the caution came out, but I'm not 100% sure. That could have, other laps could have happened. Let's see. Yeah, so here's the thing. Yeah, this is not the exact order because I'm looking at lap 65. Wallace was 6th, and it's saying he's 14th now. And then it's saying Reddick is 9th, but 6th. So I think we're under. I don't know if this is the exact running order right now.
Comment for you there, Mr. Lyles. Mr. Watson has chimed in.
Attaboy Wyatt?
I need to catch up to Michael Massie in our front stretch draft, so I need a much.
You don't need to. But I'd have such a big lead if I didn't have Kyle Larson dragging me down every week.
He has quite a few in the last 3 weeks.
Exactly.
That's where I've been slowly clawing my way up in my. I do a pick 'em thing on Facebook where you pick one driver for the year, and I have Blaney. And
Yeah, so
started low, and he's just slowly
according-
walking his way up the standings.
according to the radio on the Briscoe car, he was describing his car as edging. So whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah, you have to explain that to me, Trey.
Neff,
That
you
means
should
you're
Google
on
that
the
for us.
You're on the razor's edge. So it's
Thank
jumping
you,
a little
Neff.
loose, jumping a little tight. You can't get a good balance of it because you're falling off either side of the razor's edge.
Preach it now.
That's what edgy means.
They're
Are you
about to
playing the
refire him according to the 5 radio.
Kyle Busch isn't going anywhere next year, Keith Hall. He has already confirmed that he has a contract through the end of 2026 with Richard Childress Racing.
He had another option year.
He is there through the
And then
end of
again, it's
next
just
year.
like, where would he go? Like, I've talked to a couple sources at Legacy. He could have been going to Legacy, but that's just a worse move. And then, other than
For
that,
sure.
where?
I'd be fair, they've had decent runs most of the year and shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of speeding penalties and loose tires and just all
He could have
the
won a
different
Coda.
things shooting themselves in the foot. He's been in position to win at least 4
Or-
races this year.
Oh,
I truly think Coda was his best shot.
True. Well, wasn't he right in the mix again in Atlanta? I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
By the way,
he's in the
Mr.
mix of
Watson
Daytona.
Mr. Watson worrying that Hamlin was about to wreck and hurt his front stretch league as well.
Oh, you poor thing.
Mhm.
We all feel bad for him. Not. All right. Zane Smith with the spoiler cam.
We are back. Back.
Back.
Pit road.
Brian Nolen and Michael Massie, you were not here early on. I shouted out to my buddy Nick Hoffman.
Shout out,
Ran-
Nick.
Ran third in the Dream last night.
Nice.
On lap 10, put it in the fence. Ended up a lap down, had to have his spoiler repaired. Got back on the lead lap and ran from DFL to third place. Finished behind Jonathan Davenport with his 11th major win at Eldora, 22nd win overall there. And Bobby Pierce came in second.
Nice.
So that was
Bobby Pierce. Almost
that
truck
was
series
great
winner.
effort.
Shout out, Bobby.
Great effort by Hoffman.
Yeah, that's the truck race for Bobby Pierce almost won is like one of my favorite truck races ever.
All those truck races were my favorites, man. God, I had so much fun being there for those. And the wildest one was the first year
Mhm.
when Norm Benning actually made it into the feature in
Yeah.
his heat
Yeah.
race. Interviewing Norm afterwards, and Norm is like totally clueless that there's like guys from 9 different teams over there thrashing on his truck to get it to where it'll be able to roll off for the feature because it was beat to death at the end of the heat race. And Norm's just like, hey, talking on TV, look at me.
Yeah, no. I probably thought he's going to go win the thing, too.
All right, here's a question for you, boys, from Rebecca. Name a place that you like to eat, but it's only in your town.
Oh, that's easy for me. Rocco's Pizza.
What do you got?
in Goochland
Oh, yeah,
County,
I got it.
Virginia.
It's called Idaho Pizza Factory.
How about you, Mr. Lyle? Rebecca had a question.
Good question. I went there on Friday night. It's called the Water Dog. It's in Lynchburg, Virginia.
How
Water
are
Dog
you
good.
speeding on pit
There
road?
you
Ooh.
go.
I got a funny water dog story that I'll have to tell you off the
You
air.
can go to the porch and bring your dog. So I got to do that.
Yeah.
So, and they have like fresh oysters. Like if you want oysters, they have a really good oyster po' boy. Really good beer selection. So
Also, have we all congratulated Mr. Trey Lyle? It is his anniversary today.
Happy anniversary, Trey.
Yeah, and now he's got a
Yeah.
broadcasting room full of teachers' equipment that he was showing off earlier
sorry.
today.
Speaking of that was the 1 year person yelling at me saying the sangria is good. She got the rosé sangria. Yeah, that's what she got.
Tell
No.
her to come here. Say hi to us.
Storm.
She
you have
has
a
already said
question.
hi to everybody.
Well, no, she's not on the air.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Storm, come
Because
here.
Massie and Nolen joined, and you turned the camera so that we could see her.
Come
Again.
here. Storm, come here. My brother just ordered us pizza, so they're eating pizza.
I like your brother. I think I
He's been
made fun of
requested.
him one time.
You should always make
Oh,
fun
you
of her.
definitely
Is
have.
this Stormy Daniels?
Hello, Storm.
Hi.
How
Hey,
are you?
Michael. Hi.
What's up?
Trey being nice.
You-
Okay, well, you better tell him he better treat you nice, okay?
Well, this is our 1 year. He's spending it with you guys.
That's what I just said. And he's like, I know.
Yeah. And he's making me clean his whole house.
That is so mean.
She
and
lives here.
unacceptable. That's just unacceptable, Trey. Let's be better.
Who's your race pick, Storm? Who's
Bubba.
gonna win this thing? You say
That's
Bubba?
who I picked.
She really loves David Malukas, but he's not racing.
Dave.
My
I
wife
don't
loves
think he's gonna
Pato.
win today.
My wife loves Pato because Pato loves Taylor Swift.
David Malika has a pink car. Well, he did.
Okay, there you go.
And then Bubba had a pink car. And then AJ Brown has pink cleats.
Oh, AJ Brown. No Eagles. Please, God, no
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, no Eagles.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Storm.
You yelled into the headphones.
Hi, Storm. Thanks for stopping in. So to answer Rebecca's question from Myrtle Beach, La Poblana Mexican restaurant. Went there. Just let me put it this way. When we got there was a line out the door and down the sidewalk. 95% of the people in the line were Hispanic. You know you're at a good Mexican restaurant when you got a line of Hispanic people going down the street.
So I'm going to take a bold shot here. I don't like Mexican food.
That's not a
What?
bullshot at all. I don't like it either.
You're an idiot.
You both are racist.
No, there's only one car on the track that's racist, and it's the 47.
You're not wrong,
Notice the banner.
actually. Hulk Hogan.
Green
Well,
flags.
let me correct that. The poster child of that beer is racist.
True. We do not support Hulk Hogan.
Oh
Oh, hold on. I gotta mute it then. Hold on.
no, it's nothing.
No, you
it's
don't.
nothing. It's
No, you
correct.
don't.
No, you
He's
don't.
trying to do a Wyatt Watson on you.
It was close.
4 wide. Slide
The
down.
How
Lar-
did
I'm
how did
not
Logano
licensed
get
to-
fourth? Wait a minute. Did
Because he's jelly.
drivers stay out? Because
Yes, a whole bunch of them did.
okay.
Not a lot pitted.
That's how Keselowski ended up in fourth now.
What did
All
I
right.
miss?
And Bell's in
It
second,
was Bell nearly wrecked Chase Elliott. That's
which
what I was screaming at.
unfortunately for
Thank
is
you,
it
Wyatt, by
Keith?
the way.
Was it Keith that had the bet on the
Ooh.
over under with Bell? I'm scrolling back up, see if
Yes.
I can find it.
Ooh!
No, it was Coolhard.
Caution.
Oh, mute.
Coolhard
Sorry,
was the one that
don't want
had Bell in
spoilers
the
for myself.
over.
No, you don't need to mute this. It's not big.
Nah, it's not
No
anything
caution?
worth being muted on.
No, it's a caution, but it's not.
It's a caution,
anything
but
of
it's an
note.
uneventful
John
caution.
Hunter.
Oh, okay.
It's John Hunter spun out.
Oh, okay. It's not a crash.
Oh, he does that.
So, all right, let's have an impromptu poll real quick. How many of y'all think that NASCAR should adopt the deal where if you have involvement in 3 cautions, you're done for the race?
Ooh, I do like that.
I like that a lot.
I think you have to throw that out at super speedways. Because
It
like
would be
you
if you
could,
cause
See
the
what she is, you
caution.
might get.
because like if like some guy could be spinning, just spun out to avoid it, and that could happen a couple times. And I don't want a guy to be avoiding a race that's naturally close together. You know.
If you can't control yourself enough to not
So,
spin out while you're trying
How
to avoid
many?
a wreck
So
3
so
times.
in case, here it is, 48. Then some took 2 and no tires. That's also why it's all mixed up. Okay. Now I'm answered. Now I've answered.
Good job.
Well, I wasn't here when it happened. I had to protect my dog. I had to protect the pizza man for my dog.
Pizza
Take
does
the
sound
dog from the
good.
pizza man.
Well, as Massie knows about my dog, he's not an aggressive dog. He is a please give me as much attention as possible kind of dog. So
So, like my dogs.
yes.
Yeah, like a French bulldog.
Yep.
Uh-oh. The Nemechek going on the hook. .29 laps to go in stage 2. Chase Elliott now credited with fastest lap of the race.
Oh, my screen just went.
C. Bell in second, McDowell third, Keselowski fourth, Logano rounding out your top 5. Byron, Haley, Gilliland, Priest, and the Reddick making up your top 10. And then they got a picture of Alex Bowman's car, Kilt, K-I-L-L-T, Kilt.
It's like the Irish garment that you wear.
Yep.
Instead of pants.
He's glad he didn't have a kilt on for that wreck because he'd have had some serious lower abdominal damage from those seatbelts.
Look
at that nose.
It just
What's left
safe
of
to say
that
it needs a
nose?
nose job.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that I think that car might be DOA.
That is a whole front clip at least. If not, they'll probably
Yeesh.
trash the whole car. Oh, now
I-
Kim's going to give us an interview, Alex.
Let's head to the infield care center with Kim Kuhn. Kimmy?
Oh, golly, that had to hurt. Those anti-submarine belts between your legs. Oof.
You sound a little bit jealous there now.
Not at all, dude. You talk about pain.
Yeah.
So if Bowman says this was the hardest hit he's taken, he should probably go get a concussion test.
Yeah. Hate to say it.
I'd be willing to bet they've already given him one. I may be wrong, but I would bet you money they gave him a concussion test in the infield care center, knowing his history.
Yeah, but I think last time it popped up like a day or two after too.
Yeah.
It was like the next one.
Well, it can,
So my
that
guess
can
is he'll
still
get another
happen.
one in the next.
Yeah, check them on like
Day or
Tuesday.
Get him one on Wednesday or something.
That's another one of my favorite interviews ever. I used to do a podcast thing way back in the day before podcasts were a real thing, and had Bowman on, and he told a story that his dog used to would find gum like laying around in his apartment and eat it, and then when he farted, it would make bubbles. So they called his dog's nickname was Bubbles for making fart bubbles.
That's so
It was
gross.
hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he definitely looks a little
Think-
woozy.
Elliot,
He's looking
Elliot
glassy-eyed for sure.
chased down
Yeah,
pit
yes.
road, getting a full tank of fuel.
They're packing him full.
Brian's
They were
try
saying
to come
they were
later.
saying this
What
is the
will
worst
rate
case
on that?
scenario for the 9 car. They were going to stay. I assume just stay out and try to save fuel.
Yeah.
Rebecca, no, this is actually going by quick, but I think this is what NASCAR wants. I think they're going to try to speed as much up as they can because they do not want to be stuck in Texas.
The first stage
Right.
flew
Yeah,
by.
first stage
Yeah.
went fast. This stage
this
is
is
not
been-
going
this
fast.
has
fast.
been slow.
I'm like,
Yeah,
we've
that
had
is
a
true.
we've had a red flag and a caution flag in
Yeah,
this
this
stage. This
stage is
stage is
not
not
going
going quick.
So
Didn't-
you're saying
didn't I
Chase
read
Elliott
where-
was in Una first, but now he's in
Didn't I
Una
read?
last.
Oh, God, I hate you so much. But didn't I
Also,
read where
hey,
you have to?
He's not in last. He's not in last because there are cars that are
4 cars
out of the race.
Out. I know, it's just a joke.
But
Don't
didn't you?
explain my
Yeah,
joke.
He's
Trey.
Una last car on the lead lap,
Yeah,
He's
you know.
Una.
and I don't even think he's that because Almendinger
Yeah,
and
because
Dillon
other
are
guys
behind him.
did. Briscoe petted.
Didn't I
you're
read, though,
Una
like,
last
The
on.
haulers have to leave for Mexico by like 5 p.m. and it's 3:45.
Well, the thing
today.
is, those haulers could leave right now.
yeah.
They could because they're packed for Mexico already. They have other haulers that are going to take the cars back.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, Bowman,
Obviously, they can't leave. Yeah, so I think if like worst
Bowman
case
and
scenario,
Nemechek could get out of here.
Yeah.
because their like pit whatever pit boxes go. NASCAR takes those.
Yeah, that's a completely separate hauling company. It does those
That's
things.
completely separate hauling thing. So I think the only I don't know what else the team would have to pack up in that hauler to go.
Just a car. Any tools they got out?
Yeah, the car doesn't have to go.
Beer cooler.
Well, they got to take the car. Like,
No, the cars are
Yeah,
already
no.
packed.
The Mexico cars are already in the hauler.
The Mexico
they-
car. They have a
split
whole
them out
separate.
morning.
They have a whole separate. They have separate haulers that are going to take these cars back to Charlotte.
You know, when they do the West Coast change, where they haul cars out to Texas or Kansas,
Yeah,
wherever the hell
yeah.
they meet them on the West Coast, and swap
Yeah,
them out and then ship them back. They're using those haulers to take these cars back to Mooresville or wherever else
That's in North Carolina.
wherever else the
Whoa.
shop may be.
That's too much. Like, you basically set it out like 8 haulers to.
See, the
Ooh,
thing that would have been
person.
more interesting would have been if they had followed the F1 model, where they have like a couple or 3 giant cargo planes bring all the cars.
That would be cool.
But you still got to have the haulers go down with all the other equipment that they have for radios and all that happy hoo-ha.
So something interesting that our RCR had to do because they're going to Mexico.
I saw this.
They had to cover up most of their sponsor logos because if they have alcohol or CBD or their casino sponsor and they're not permitted in Mexico, they're not allowed.
So like
Chris-
literally, like the Kyle Busch hauler is like black.
Yeah.
It just has cheddars on there.
Yeah.
Cheddars and Lucas Oil.
Morgan and Morgan.
They may have to use that.
Get out. Well, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure the last time Kyle Busch was in Mexico, he had an issue.
McDowell
Yeah.
dropping like a stone.
Nuggets,
I don't think it was the
Chastain.
last time,
No, because he was there
but
like a
it
month
was
ago.
recent. Last couple of years.
Chastain.
All right, green
can't
flag
have
is
a
back out. We are
fire.
back to racing. McDowell falling through the field like a freaking hot knife through butter.
Bada. Even Boston there.
Yeah, no. Thank God.
Oh, with the sacks.
Hamlin is now back in the top 10. Hamlin, like the top running. Well, no, Byron's in the lead. Hamlin's second of the cars that were top running earlier. Although Reddick's up.
Reddick's now third.
Yeah, Reddick's up in there mixing it up.
I wonder, as long as this stage plays out, will the guys who took 4 actually win out? Because this is still 40 laps.
Yeah, it's a long ways to go.
Ooh,
35.
front. Ooh.
William Byron now sporting the fast lap of the race.
Get an extra bonus point there.
I really wish they'd go back to bonus point for leading a lap and 5 bonus points for leading all the most laps.
Same.
Right?
I don't understand why they don't. It's stupid.
Amen. Preach it, Neff.
I used to argue with Kyle Petty about that all the time. Back when he was running his garbage laps and finishing 25th and 30th. I'm like, dude, why don't you stay out on the first caution flag every race
Yeah.
and lead a lap?
Yeah.
That's 36 extra points. And I went through for like 4 or 5 years while he was running that bad. And it would have gained him 5 or 6 positions in the season-ending points if he did that. And he's always like, man, that puts us so far behind in the race. And I'm like, dude, you're finishing 3 and 4 laps down anyway. It doesn't matter. And that way you'd get those points.
The front row guys would do that back in the day.
Yeah.
Like David Gilliland. I remember him doing that quite a few times.
Yeah, you're crazy not to. Crazy. Kyle Busch, like he's tied to a post. Look at Boucher getting ready to put Busch another position back. So you're not allowed to gamble in Mexico? I thought they had
It's got to be
casinos.
permitted. Like it's got to be a casino that's permitted in Mexico.
The
Okay,
the
gotcha.
cartel has got to get a cut of it.
Got it. So that's why Suarez has got everything, because he's hooked with the cartel for all that stuff. I really wish they were running an oval in Mexico.
Yeah.
Zane Smith and Ty Dillon are battling for 10th and 11th right now.
Right behind Ryan Preece, who just went by McDowell, who's still dropping like a hot knife through butter. Hocevar now in 11th, heading forward. I do like that Castrol paint scheme. I always love that.
Castrol. The tasty drink.
If you're John Force.
Keselowski in 4th?
You go jinx
Yeah,
it.
he's hanging on up there with the switches,
Yeah.
pit road
Mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo
strategy
jumbo.
call.
Yeah.
Fix me a plate of gumbo.
Last pitted 67, 75, 47, 69, 67. So like the top 5 all got like different strategies.
Hike. Boding. I got to get a job with J-Ski.
Hook up with our boy Dustin. He's a good boy.
I know. I keep bugging him because every single weekend I got to send him a text message and be like, hey, this link is not working on your site. And he's got to go get somebody to fix it. Like today, if you hit Michigan Cup race, it doesn't take you anywhere. It takes you to the last page that you were on. So you got to go to schedule and pick the Michigan Cup race to get the Michigan Cup race page.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Disappointed.
And it's been that way for a couple days.
Disappointed, Dustin.
That's what I just need to have a quality assurance job at the J-Ski.
I would love to see Neff working there.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
I would be happy
Good
about
time.
that.
Where does Neff want to work?
J-Ski. In quality assurance.
What are you eating?
That looks
Pizza?
like, I say that looks like a stuffed crust
Yes,
pizza.
stuffed crust there.
Is that the Domino's? Because they didn't used to make a stuffed crust, you know.
They did.
You know what else I've noticed this before, but I was just confirming before I made this statement. It's truly sad that there's not a number 14 in the Cup Series.
Yeah. I guess there's not.
There's
I
not.
didn't realize
Because
that.
Cold Custard is in the 41.
Mhm. I think they should have renumbered that to 00. I like cold custard better is a
Cold
double
custard
zero.
should be in the 00 for sure.
Mhm.
I agree. Especially back to his Kentucky win.
Mhm.
That was a great drive that day, man. He drove the wheels off that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a 41.
I thought it was a 00
He did 00 in Xfinity
and trucks.
and trucks. Maybe K&N too.
Logano slipping back to 8th as Hamlin is up to 7th. Priest in 6th. Look at Priest marching forward.
Yeah, this is a cool graphic.
Elliott's
Laps and
Elliott's
times.
fighting back from his pit road call. He is now 22nd. Biggest mover since the restart, up 7 spots. Larson is up 6. Reddick up 5.
Larson.
That's awesome. Chase Elliott finished 10th or better in 9 of whatever number of Michigan races that was. Tell me that no one when that stat pumps around.
How about Todd?
Todd. Oh,
Currently
Todd.
running 5th.
Fighting for freedom. Because he wants to be a cowboy.
Todd Gillen wants to be a cowboy?
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
No. It's a different song.
I know. That's just the one that popped in my head.
But since we are in Michigan, it is appropriate that Kid Rock Cowboy would come up.
But no, as always, you know how you can save a horse?
Ride a cowboy.
That's going to be a bonk.
Bong?
Bonk.
A bonk.
B-O-N-K.
Bonk. Like a honky tonk badonkadonk.
Amen, Neff. Amen.
Neff, anytime something of sexual nature gets brought up, the kids these days say bonk. B-O-N-K.
And there you go. The honky tonk badonkadonk.
That deserves one right there.
That's where it comes from. That's where the bonk
We got
comes
what do we got? Jacking off cock. We got
That's a bonk.
What? I don't believe we're
that's what we said
jacking
earlier.
off cock. They
Was jacking
jacked
up?
up the price on my cock.
Jack up cock. Yeah.
They
that was-
jacked up the price on my cock.
The Stenhouse scheme looks like changing the subject. The Stenhouse scheme looks like something that should have ran at the Coke 600.
Man, true.
It is the all-American beer.
Yeah.
Brother.
Absolutely. That would have been a perfect thing to be running at Charlotte. Who's Wallace got on the card?
We got Hulk Hogan here on the broadcast.
Columbia.
Columbia. Let me tell you something, brother. This racing is intense.
Columbia Sportwear or Columbia
Yeah.
University?
Sportwear.
Or the
I think
country.
this is the
or the cocaine smuggling country.
I mean, it could be either way. It could be either
that might be
one.
something to run next. This is like I think they're like Columbia has like a winter scheme, like they do the Star Wars scheme, and then they do. I think this is the fishing scheme that they run for the summer.
Gotcha.
They actually changed their scheme for like the season, which actually I give a lot of respect to.
They have
Yeah,
good
it's just
paint
like Bush Apple. Same thing.
scheme. Bush Apple's a good paint scheme.
And then in the fall we get the flannel bush scheme. I love that one too. I hate that, and I'm assuming it is still company policy with Anheuser-Busch that they will not cross promote their brands.
Yeah.
I always thought they missed the boat with Junior. That they could have done all of the different Anheuser-Busch brands. Because between Bud Light, Busch Light, there was a malt liquor that they have, and then they had Eagle Snacks. There was like 3 different Eagle Snacks they could have done. It basically worked out to 38 different paint schemes that they could do. That they could have had a different
There's no
paint scheme
brand
for
identity.
every race of the
Yeah,
entire
but
year.
otherwise instead they traded up for like one of the most iconic cars in the history of the sport.
But they still mixed it up. They did the Born on Date. They did the baseball scheme.
Yeah, but it was still Bud. It
I
wasn't.
understand. that, but they could have really gotten some promotion out of Eagle Snacks. How many of you even know that Eagle Snacks is from Anheuser-Busch?
I
don't
don't
even
even know what that
Don't,
is.
because they never advertise it.
What is that? Is that
I have
like
no idea.
Girl Scout cookies?
No, it's like potato chips and pretzels and crap.
Oh, I do love pretzels.
Big run by Cindric. Slamming the door on
Those
Logano
things are the bomb.
for 12th. Whoa. Logano losing another spot to the Apple car, crossing over.
But no, I remember hearing Dale Jr. say that like those brands within Anheuser-Busch, because people would always be like, run a Bud Light scheme, run a Bud Light scheme. But they're like Bud Light and Budweiser are like rivals within the company.
Right. And that's why Anheuser-Busch will not do the
Yeah.
cross promotion. They don't do anything. If you're a Budweiser, you're a Budweiser. Now, the other cool thing that I love hanging around with, hello, Bryan, Nolen's significant other in the background there. One other thing that I love about Budweiser is once a Bud man, always a Bud man.
Like Ken Schrader.
Ken Schrader at his shop, which he sold his shop. I don't know if he keeps it at his house now or what. But he used to have a paint booth in his shop. The entire top of the paint booth was Budweiser. I mean, cases and cases of Budweiser.
Yeah.
And the Bud truck would show up like once a quarter and drop off like 150 cases of Bud. It was
Imagine
amazing.
Casey Kane you show up to Casey Kane's house.
Uh-huh.
So like Harvick is like I think the only driver to have. He went from Bud and then they switched him to Busch.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he had the
True.
Bud car.
Yep.
He's the last one to have the Bud car. Because he won the title in the Bud car.
Yeah, that's just like the story that the Budweiser distributor in Mooresville was like checking in because he's like, dude, we are delivering more beer to Junior's house than any other building in the entire Mooresville area.
I was gonna say, does Harvick get a lifetime supply of Busch or Bud?
Probably both.
Right, either one he wants.
Probably
True.
once, yeah.
The other fun Schrader one was he had a whole room full of little Debbies too.
Crazy how he didn't get fat.
He's not a small man, in case you didn't know. But he can still wheel it. He won again. Was it Thursday night? I think Wednesday or Thursday night. He won another modified race.
Oh, we'll hear it on Herman Schrader this week then.
Herman Schrader.
Man, the crazy thing about that I was amazed at with Schrader, and I don't know if his price has changed in recent years, but as recent as like 4 years ago, he was still getting $10,000 per appearance at a racetrack. When he ran a race at a racetrack, they paid him $10,000 to be there.
I know he makes money doing the Featherlight, like the ride-alongs, or what's the thing called? What's
Federated
that company
Auto
called?
Parts.
Federated Auto Parts. That's what it was. Yeah, he does ride-along, like just drives executives around the track or whatever. And so that's like a good source of his income right there.
Ooh, Goodyear doing an ad at Coda. Part of this.
Doing an ad from the moon.
Oh, Neff, I got a good one for you though.
Uh-oh.
The crazy thing. In the 80s, Budweiser had two cars. Instead of running two different brands on the two cars, they sponsored DW and Neil Bonnet. Like that's
But
weird.
they were both part of Junior's
Junior
team.
Johnson, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Like an F1 team.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
Exactly
worse
right.
if they did like Daryl with Junior and then somebody else with Hendrick. That would have been really stupid.
So outside of Adam Cheek, who do you think is excited? Who's excited for this F1 movie?
I
actually
I'm
kinda am.
actually excited
I
for it.
I am because it's isn't it Ron Howard, the same who did Days of Thunder?
No, Ron Howard did
No, Ron Howard did not do Days of
did the
Thunder.
Earnhardt thing.
Yeah,
Earnhardt.
no, that's right. Who did
The,
Days of Thunder?
It's the guy that did the new Top Gun, I think.
Jerry,
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, the guy that did Days of Thunder's dead.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the people excited about this F1 movie are 90% of the female in the United States, if
Hey.
not the whole world.
Hey, I mean it's Brad Pitt, so
I got to watch that movie, and then I got to watch the new Lilo and Stitch movie.
No, you don't.
Well, my dog,
Emily.
my little dog looks like Stitch, so
Oh,
the little one really does though. Archer kind of
Emily.
does.
That is
What?
disturbing. You got a dog that looks like Stitch? What? I need to see this. Bring this dog in here and put it on camera.
Genty, come here.
Did you say Genevieve?
Genty. It's after the running back for Boise State, Ashton Genty.
Of course
Genty,
it
come
is, because we love the blue turf.
Oh, that's your guy now. He's a
Oh,
Raider.
Burn Bar! Burn Bar!
Oh, yes.
We love
see?
the Burn
Tell me
Bar.
he doesn't look like Stitch now.
No, he looks like a dumbass French bulldog. Stick your curled tongue out.
What?
Come on, give us a curled tongue. La, 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 la.
Now, if you're a
La, la, la,
Raiders
la, la.
fan, you should be a Genty fan, right?
I'm a what?
You're a Raiders fan, right?
Yeah.
That's their new
that's
running
your
back.
running back now.
I'm aware of that, but he's not a French bulldog. I'm a fan
He
of the running
runs
back,
like
not
one.
the bulldog.
Here's
that
my
dog
other
is-
one now.
That dog does not look
Hokey
like
was
Stitch.
Hokey saw your dog.
That's my other one.
There
This
you
is
go.
Archer.
I don't. Hi, Archer.
1 second.
Archie, yeah.
That is a cool mohawk line of fur you got going down the middle of your head. I like that. That is
Yeah.
a good look.
Yes. Okay. Hello, Archie. Okay.
Oh,
You're a little chunky boy, though.
mine's a little
pit,
bigger.
Pit stop starting. For those
15 to
guys,
go.
Well,
States too.
Bell stayed out. Remember?
I
So he
say
might-
those guys that tried to roll the dice, they're having to come in now. Cold custard with a 4-second pit stop.
How many?
gas and goal, I guess, or custard.
So Bell's coming in. Sorry about that.
Bell's back out. Larson going around Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon fighting back on the outside. They're going to get close together again. Larson's really good at trying to wreck people coming up out of these corners.
No, really,
That's
Larson
the
would
fourth
do
or
that?
fifth time
Crazy.
today that Larson has done that.
Go lay down.
Oh, hang on.
Byron Reddick Keselowski.
Neff, you're in trouble.
What just happened?
Neff's in trouble. He's getting yelled at. Why you on this thing again?
I beg your pardon?
I said you didn't hear it because your headphones. I said, Neff, you're in trouble.
No, I wasn't in trouble. Somebody's borrowing the car. Good.
They had a
I
race
thought
this
she was gonna
weekend.
leave the cat in here, but did not.
Oh,
You're
wait.
killing
Oh,
What happened?
That was a
Muted.
poor pit lane entrance for one Ryan Blaney. Is this going to take us to the end? Oh, no, hell no. We're at 12 to go. I would say this ain't going to take us to the end of the. Although in NASCAR terms, it'll probably be 5 to go when they go back to green.
flat tire for Blaney.
Yeah, I think when we get down to like the end of this race, I'm gonna hop off because I don't want this thing spoiled 8 minutes before I see it.
Oh, Blaney spins.
Just
That's why I always mute. like,
mute your
something
just
says
mute your
crash.
thing.
I just mute it and then I
Yeah,
wait
just
till
mute.
it.
You can do it. I got
Just
faith.
mute you guys and then
Yeah.
just
That's what I do,
talk
and then I
all
see it
over.
and then I unmute them. Oh,
Once
sorry.
again, Blaney shooting himself in the foot in one of these races. Now, mind you still got a whole stage left, so it may not be as bad as it could be.
BLB.
he
But
just got high.
Bad Blaney.
they do this on a regular.
He just got high.
Because he's so high. He's so high.
According to Jordan Bianchi, Ryan Blaney
He's so high.
it is killed.
Stays drunk all
Killed.
the time. Blaney said it was killed.
Mm-hmm.
He break a toe link?
That's what I'm thinking.
He did hit the wall.
Here's Larson. Here's Larson going up in front of Dylan, who's going to give him a little love. Puts him in the wall.
It's killed. I effed it all up, Ryan Blaney says.
Kilt. Effed it up. Kilt.
Well,
See, Bell playing out well for him for this stage because he gets to stay out since they just did that pit stop.
yeah.
Everybody else.
well,
comes
But they're a
into the
lap
pits.
down, though, so they got to take the lucky dog.
Well, it's 12, 11 to go, so they're going to run.
he?
They're about to
They
run
lost a lap
25
because he was
caution
in the
laps.
top. He was at the front of the field. They
God,
lost a lap.
Larson is in a mood today.
Larson's been in a mood for a month.
Since the beginning of May.
Yeah, Larson has not had a very good time since May 20-something.
Yeah, whenever he wrecked in practice at Indy. Since then, he's had like 3 sprint car wrecks. Wrecked in a 500, wrecked in the 600, wrecked at Nashville.
It was probably the
Wow,
worst.
4 wide coming off pit lane.
Probably the
4
worst
wide.
case scenario
Hold up.
for Larson. Wrecking
Hold
in the
up.
100 and then wrecking in the 600.
He's mad at Ty Dillon when he ran Ty Dillon to the wall.
Ran him into the wall.
Oh, yeah,
I'd be mad.
that's what the NASCAR approach is.
So Bell
So
ended
he's
up
like-
a lap down.
He's like, you're Ty Dillon. You're supposed to lift when I try to pass you.
Yeah.
If I'm Ty Dillon, I just right hook his butt.
It'll
Like,
be frowned
take
upon,
a-
though.
take
Say,
a
I
week
don't-
off.
I don't think Ty would right rear him, but he'll left rear him.
Hey, you don't have to go all the way to Mexico. You get a week off.
So
Say it.
question.
Say it. Say it.
Bell was a lap down, so he's gonna take the wave around.
Apparently, well, not really the wave around. He stayed out as everybody else came into pit lane.
I love the way they did that pit out thing, where it shows you the ones that stayed out, then it shows you who pits.
Yes.
Yes.
So and the 3 that stayed out were Cindric, Dylan, and someone
and
else.
Briscoe.
Yeah.
Because Fox would be like, "Oh, Joey Logano wins the race off pit road. Yeah, he's
Blaney-
the leader now.
Blaney
he's
is-
actually 14th.
Blaney
now
is a
Bell-
lap down.
Bell is coming back into the pits for second time.
I'm assuming to top off for fuel, so the next.
Oh, he's
stop
getting
is
tires now because they put fuel in before and let him go without putting tires on.
I'm
So
assuming.
this time they're going ahead and putting the tires on.
I'm assuming that he was the free pass then.
I don't know that he was the free pass. I thought he was just coming around to get.
Well, I'm looking at timing and scoring. The only car that's not a lap down, or only car that's a lap down now, is Blaney.
That's what I'm saying. He stayed out when everybody else came into the pits. So he got by the start finish line before the leader got to the start finish line as they were coming down the pits. So that put him at the end of the lead lap.
Brad and Gillen both caught for speeding.
And there's why Keselowski will be the worst finishing Michigan.
Dang.
driver.
You got it.
Is Nolen building some IKEA furniture or something? What the hell is
Yeah.
he doing?
Get him out of the paint. Not Elliott's penalties are waived after review. So I guess Elliott had a penalty.
I didn't know he had a penalty. So there we go. Learn something new every day. Damn, that's got to be uncomfortable. Oh my God.
What?
Walking around in a damn Sasquatch outfit?
No, those are real Sasquatches.
Okay. Either way, it's got to be uncomfortable in 80-degree weather, walking around in fur, head to toe. One of those things that Briscoe, again, doesn't have to worry about.
Hey, someone interesting watching this race, and I guess he's doing it because he also works for Amazon. Ryan Fitzpatrick. So
Awesome. Thanks.
So
Fitz.
he said, any advice for picking a driver, Jeff? He replying to a Jeff Gluck tweet. My youngest son is all in on Blaney because he won last week. Was looking for a driver with a thick beard, but they all seem to be well groomed.
I think who does
So-
get the best beard, Blaney?
Yeah, I
Bubba,
mean,
Bubba has some facial hair. He'll rock
Yeah.
a must. He'll float
LaJoy
everything
used to
out.
have LaJoy used to wear beard every once in a while. Junebug
Yeah.
used to run a beard.
You can't really have a beard in racing because you
Oh.
wear the fire thing.
Right. Truex had a pretty good one.
Yes, true statement.
So
No, but Fitzmagic, if Denny were to leave right now and put Fitzmagic in the car, he'd win. Because coming off the bench, that dude was incredible.
Right. Probably right. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Reagan Smith never did.
I don't know who's most entertaining quarterback of all time. It's either Ryan Fitzpatrick or Jameis Winston. I don't know.
They're up there, yeah.
So Cindric, Dylan, Briscoe, your top three, and then which they must have and then you have Byron in fourth, the first car of the cars that pitted. 8 to go in this stage. Excuse me for a minute. I have a dog barking.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at they're showing the FanDuel odds, and they got Larson as fast to win. I feel like he hasn't even been in the picture today.
Mm-mm.
Nolen, were you building IKEA furniture or something there a minute?
Mm-mm. I was heating up food.
Oh, it sounded like you were banging on freaking something.
You constructed your own microwave.
A Heathkit microwave. That's another one of those things that you youngsters probably don't even know what a Heathkit is.
I know what a Heath bar is.
Those can slap.
Yeah.
My mom used to make. She would take it would apple dip. It would be like caramel and chocolate, and then Heath bar on tops.
Yeah, because you got to get that toffee mix in there.
That's good.
Why'd you just take Nolen out of it?
Because he's being Bryan Nolen.
He was being funny, man. He can't help it. He's funny. He's a naturally
funny.
funny dude.
Funny looking.
Everybody funny. Now you funny too.
Look at Ty Dillon though. What a great
back in the day, you used to go to Radio Shack and get a Heath kit and put your own transistor radio together or stereo or walkie-talkie or anything like that. When I was a young lad, my television was a Heathkit TV that my dad put together and built the wooden stereo cabinet to go around it. Black and white until 1978 when I was in 8th grade. We finally got a color TV.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a tube TV. You used to have to go to Radio Shack, put the tubes in the tube tester to see if your tubes were bad. Then buy replacement.
Yeah. He had his tubes.
That's how far we've come. Now when your TV breaks, you don't even bother checking a tube. You just spend $100 to buy a 50-inch diagonal because they're so cheap.
50-inch what?
50-inch diagonal TV.
Neff was talking about how he got his tubes tied back in the day.
No, you used to have to check your tubes, figure out why your TV wasn't working.
I think Michigan's an underrated track.
It really is.
Oh, absolutely. Michigan's a fantastic track, especially now that the asphalt is starting to finally age. Because they repaved this thing like 15 years ago, and it took forever to get the cars off the bottom, but it's now finally aged.
This has been I know we have probably made more sexual jokes than actual things about this race. But this has been a good race.
That's completely untrue.
Yeah, I've only talked about the race.
I'm an angel.
But you know what series I wish was running here?
The Xfinity Series.
IndyCar.
Oh, Indy, yeah.
Instead of the Detroit thing, just come here.
First time I ever went to Michigan was for an IndyCar race.
I just don't.
First NASCAR race I ever attended was at Michigan. I actually held the catch can for Ken Reagan during a Michigan race. Yeah. My very first NASCAR race ever. In the McCord Tire Special number 77.
So you were a pit crew member?
Yeah, I held the catch can.
That's what pit crew members do, Trey. They hold the catch.
It was William Byron going to grab the lead with 1 to go. And yes, he beat Cindric to the line by 2-1. hundredths of a second. But yeah, it was a funny story, which we'll get to after this lap. I don't want to talk over the last lap with my goofy story about going to Michigan.
It is 3 to go, sir.
I know. It's the final lap, my friend. And don't look now, but Hocevar is getting ready to make a move on the outside and pass both of them to grab the stage win.
Hocevar is going to win sooner rather than later.
Yes, he is. I think probably today.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like my Blaney pick is not going to materialize.
You think?
You don't say. Yeah.
Stage
Somebody
2,
on
William
here
Byron
picked
takes the win
Hocevar.
over Cindric. Hocevar is third. Reddick fourth. Chastain comes in fifth. The rest of them will be across the bottom here in a minute once Mr. Lyle gets done copying and pasting. Because he's got those kind of skills.
This is a really good race.
It has been. I was watching something. It might have been the Earnhardt documentary. I don't remember for sure. But they were showing a race from somewhere, and they had a late race restart. It was freaking single file.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot that we used to do that.
Especially when you had the lap cars on the inside, the leader would have a 10-car length lead out of turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have all the
Yeah.
lap cars between him and second place.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the best changes I've seen, like in my time watching.
Yeah, I hate it. I used
The
to
double
love
file
it.
restarts.
I used to love it. They had to lap down cars on the inside.
Oh, you
It actually
loved
had
it?
to earn laps back instead
That's
of stupid
true.
lucky dog crap. And
I
then-
do
but
like those restarts.
and I also love that your actual leader of the race would restart like 15th.
Yeah, if
that
there are
people
people in
couldn't
front of him,
figure
lap
out
cars in front of him.
What
Yeah, that was so
People
weird.
that
Like
failed-
watching it.
people that failed algebra didn't know how to figure out who the leader was.
Well, there's the same. You still need algebra for NASCAR, but now it's just the playoff system.
Well, and
True.
seeding for the mid-season tournament,
Yeah.
although I now understand what I didn't understand before. I thought it was average finish over these 3 races, but
It
it's
should
not.
be.
It's
That would
your
make
best
sense.
finish. Yeah,
Here's the
it's your
thing.
best.
If
finish.
something
It's
makes sense,
stupid. Yeah, we
NASCAR
can't
doesn't
do it.
want to do it.
We can't do it. It's got to be something
Yeah.
convoluted.
As we listen to Nolen take a shower in the background.
He's got to get all that sawdust off his hands from building the IKEA furniture.
True.
I hate all of this.
And Trey Lyle went to get some pizza.
Man,
Sit here and
pizza
rub
would
with
be
something.
good.
I was going to take a leak, but I got to wait.
Yeah,
till
we
there's
gotta
somebody here to talk
fill
to,
it till
so
they
I'll
get
leave you all
back.
alone. By the way, you stink for not even remotely jumping on during the racing Christmas watch party. You
I
could have
was
slid in
Indianapolis.
on your computer. You could have slid in for like 20, 30 laps in the middle of that race, and you wouldn't have missed a damn thing.
For the 500. In hindsight, yes. But at the time, I kept thinking something was going to happen.
It did. Right at the end of the race, you had 2 guys swapping the positions every lap. Unfortunately, they were at the end of the lead lap, and it kept the real race from happening.
Yeah.
I still don't buy that. That whole thing was garbage.
Well,
There's no
like,
reason that the leaders couldn't have gotten around those guys quickly.
I think he didn't want to. Hello didn't want to pass them.
I know Pelot didn't,
no.
but Erickson could have.
Yeah.
There was
Well,
no reason
Thank
Erickson
goodness
couldn't have
Erickson
made a
didn't.
move.
well, Erickson had a cheated up car though that still couldn't pass below.
True.
Yes, he did.
Like if you
Thank-
cheat, you're
All right,
supposed
so
to
Lyle-
beat.
So
Can we just,
exactly.
like,
So Lyle's
thankfully
back.
he
So
did
let
not
me
win?
tell you my Michigan Speedway story really quick. So back in 1984, I was working at the Wicks Lumber Yard on the north end of Indianapolis during my school vacations.
Oh.
And a guy that was our mechanic for our delivery trucks had built the chassis for Ken Reagan. And I don't know how that came about, but he had. Well, Michigan at the time, that was the closest NASCAR race to Indianapolis. And so the team invited him up to the race, and he's like, hey, man, you want to tag along? And I'm like, sure. He's like, you're going to have to buy a NASCAR license. It's $100. And I'm like, I'm down for that. So we get up there. I buy the NASCAR license. We come in. I'm going to be hanging out in the pit for the day. And all of a sudden, somebody's like, hey, you think you could hold the catch can? And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, we need somebody to hold the catch can going around a wall. I'm like, hell yeah. So yeah, my very first NASCAR race, I got to go over the wall and hold the catch can for Ken Reagan.
That's
It was
awesome.
crazy.
But back then, those teams, those small teams like Ken Reagan,
Hell yeah, man! You
used
were
anybody
strapped.
they could get.
Absolutely. That's just like my other picture. I think I know you guys have seen of me gassing at Charlotte for
It was the ARCA race or
truck
something?
race.
The truck race.
That was a truck race. And that was the same thing. I had buddies with a guy that was helping out that team with their PR. And he's like, "Hey man, do you think you could hold the catch can?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I hold the catch can on the first pit stop, and long story short, there was a problem with the catch can, so the fuel wasn't going in, and the fuel guy got just doused in gas, and he freaked out. He's like, "I can't do this, I can't do this." And he goes running off to the hauler. Well, they're like trying to get gas in the car, and they're like, "Well, we don't know where he went, but we need somebody to do the gas can." I'm like, "Okay." So they give me the can and had somebody else hold the catch can, and I tried to fuel it, and that's where that picture came from. I'm trying to fuel it, and fuel was going everywhere. So we figured out after that second attempt that there was a plastic sleeve that went over the probe when you plugged in the catch can into the tank, and they had made that sleeve too long, so the probe was not opening the flap to let the air out of the tank. So after that second try, they cut about 2 inches off of that plastic thing, and then they were able to, the catch can started working. But that guy never came back after getting doused in gas, so I ended up doing gas the rest of the race, which was really
traumatic
cool.
experience.
Yeah, man, it was amazing.
SVG took a wrench with them.
And to be fair, I had gas all over me the whole day. I didn't give a damn. I'm like, I'm fueling a car, for God's sakes.
I'm sitting there, put back like that, so they're smoking cigarettes with gas all over you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. So what are we going to have? 100? We're going to have 70 laps to go when we get back to green, pretty much.
166.
But we're at 125 right now.
So 75 to go.
Well, yeah, but it's not ready to go green yet.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
So
saying. By the time they get done
probably.
screwing around, it's probably going to be 70 to go.
Probably.
I hate how long these cautions are between stages. It infuriates.
I also hate how they count the laps after, like, this during stage breaks. You know.
Right, and to be fair, I don't think we should have a caution.
Yeah.
I got no problem awarding the points, but let them keep digging.
Well, Trey, I mean, not Trey. Well, Neff, we got to have the commercial breaks.
You can have commercial breaks. They have commercial breaks during races all the time.
Yeah.
Who cares? But it bothered me because you get to plan on this caution, you build strategy around it, and it ruins the strategy on road courses. Ruins it. And I don't understand. I think we should, and I always use the point. We used to award halfway money. We didn't stop the race and hand the guy a big check. We just kept digging. At the end of the race, he got his check. All right, Lyle's back with his pizza. So I'm going to take a leak real quick. I will be right back.
Hurry. Trey, who's on the show tomorrow?
What show? My show? No one. Just Ty and I. Because it's 7 a.m. on Mondays. So
Ty was telling me how he's trying to convince you to pre-record an interview with me.
Oh, I told him. Well, I did tell him also the time how you were supposed to, and then you mistimed your flight.
Yeah, that was bad.
Problem is, I would like to do it with Ty there, and it's hard to time up.
I feel that. Well, if you're just joining us, this is the Frontstretch watch party for the FireKeepers Casino 400. About to start.
Good reset. That's professionalism right there.
I know. I try my best. Stage 3 coming up here. Trey, who are you going to be keeping your eye on today?
So in this final stage, you know what? I'm going Tyler Reddick. I think he started literally in the back and has just slowly worked his way to front. Now he's second. I think Hosovar is another guy to look at. Also, in tragic news, Ty Dillon appears to have run over a squirrel while during the race. So
Squirrel shouldn't be
No
big.
way.
Now, if you hit a coyote, that's a different story.
said, I think I just murdered a squirrel getting into my pit box. Ty Dillon said on the radio,
In the pit
and the team
box.
confirmed.
Now that's
And the team
bizarre.
confirmed.
So,
Yep.
fun story. This was a freebie we got at Charlotte many, many moons ago. It is
Race fumes.
It is an air freshener that supposedly smells like race fumes.
It's like that ethanol cologne that for the New Garden ads.
Right.
Final stage.
Green flag.
Boogity,
Pizza bite.
boogity, boogity, boys.
Pizza bite. And I was wrong there, Nolen. We're at 73 to go.
Okay.
I thought it would take more laps than that to get us back to green.
Where's Michael Massie?
Irritable
That IBS
bowels.
strikes again.
Irritable bowels is a bitch, man. It is a bitch.
We now have two 2311 cars in the top 5.
Riley Hurst?
Yes.
Boucher battling for 10th. Suarez. That Jones boy's up to 8th.
That's a bad. It looks like a bad pick by Trey.
That's a very bad pick by the Trey.
Oh, boy, they're all getting scrunched up.
Scrunched up.
See this
Oh.
track. This track is great. It makes like the perfect. Like the restarts are insane because of how wide they get.
Yeah,
And then,
because you
like-
got 5 lanes that you can race on.
But if once they get spread out, you still have good racing because they can pass.
Yeah, because you got to do those corner dive bomb things.
Honestly, this
And
is
then
what
throw the slide
this is
down.
this is what Daytona should look like in terms of the drafting and the super speedway. Like
If you
Just
didn't
finish
have
up.
restrictor plates / tapered spacers, yes.
you might as well at this point. We got Boss Man and his 2 employees, 2 of his 3 employees racing each other right now.
There you go. Let's see what that impacts on the performance reviews in the next couple weeks.
True that.
You in there, Nolan? All I was seeing was the top of your head for a minute there. I was worried.
I'm right
about
here. I'm right here.
I thought you were sliding down in your chair.
Oh, no. Neff, who are you?
William Byron just set fastest lap.
Neff, who are you going to be keeping your eye on in this final stage?
I'm liking Hocevar, man.
I am too.
I've been watching that Hocevar boy.
It would be
He's-
cool. First
He
time
is
win.
He is due for a win.
First time win at your home track would be
And the
He like-
first guy from Michigan to ever do it.
Oh.
So Keselowski's in 23rd. Priest is, what is that, 12th?
also it'd be like
And Boucher
it'd
is
be
9th.
finally if Hocevar wins this race, it'd be finally the moment Spire can say, we're here. Like we're here to actually compete. Because I know they
Yep.
technically have a win, but it was very fluky. Because it was at Daytona, it was a
Yeah.
rain delay.
It was just it was a weather deal.
Yeah, but if NASCAR screwed Kurt Busch, remember? Like Kurt Busch went down pit road because and then they put the red flag out. And that's how Haley got the lead. But this would be like their crowning moment.
It's a legit win. You can't deny a win at Michigan.
For shizzle.
Hey, how's the bowels, buddy?
Oh no, I had to pee. Went ahead and brushed the teeth while I was in there. Got a little more refill.
What do you got in the corner back there behind your head, Massie?
His refrigerator.
Refrigerator?
Is that a refrigerator?
You get the
That
black
black
thing?
thing.
Yeah, it's a fridge.
Gotcha. Okay. I couldn't tell if it was like a die-cast display case or something.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just have
cool.
like pictures and magnets and stuff all over it.
Right on.
For shizzle.
Okay.
No. No.
Bryan in the hood.
Check this out, Massie.
Race
That was a-
fumes.
That was a freebie we got at Charlotte. Probably 20 years ago now. But
What is it?
it's an air freshener that supposedly smells like race fumes.
Hamlin is closing in.
Neff drops it like it's hot.
Like it's hot. Hot. I always love busting
very
out my
good.
different cool stuff I got in here.
I tell you what, the other Michigan boys look climbing up the field too.
Eric
Jones
That
boy.
Jones boy.
That would be what, back-to-back
He's an
top
eight.
10?
Yeah, I tell you, they've rounded the corner over there at the 43 car. I think they're getting better.
I mean, it proves you give Eric Jones a somewhat decent car.
Yes.
He can wheel it, man. He can wheel it for sure.
How bad do you think
y'all
Gibbs
love
wishes the Kyle Busch thing didn't go down a year, like, would have been like, what, 2 years later? And they basically could just
Whoa.
replace him with Christopher Bell. And so they could have kept Eric Jones.
Oh yeah, they could have kept
Right.
Jones and him. Or if Furniture Row doesn't go out of business and Truex stays there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could have put Bell in the 19.
Yep. Was that Allmendinger that just scraped the wall?
Yeah.
I think so. So this is the
we're
fastest
starting to-
track, right? Michigan is now the fastest track because of how slow they are on super speedways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's how they were all promoting it
'Cause
before
they
the
get-
race.
this is the only track they get over 200.
Yeah.
I think
Going-
this is proof that you should increase the speed with super speedways. Oh,
It's all about tires.
Priest
Gotta
about
have tires that fall off.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to ease into a NASCAR race.
Bryan, you okay?
I'm hanging in there.
His dog's helping out with things right now.
Paranoid.
Well, his dog just gave him a low blow. So
Yeah. I don't know
He
how.
liked it.
That's what Frenchies do.
Yeah, apparently they fart on you and make your life uncomfortable, and then they try to kiss up
Which-
and make you feel
And then
Which-
they'll crawl up and get this close to your face and then sneeze on you.
I don't think I've ever had that happen to me.
Oh, mine does it every day. Every day.
hey, I just want to mention if the race ended right now and the
Oh
playoffs,
God, here we go with that race ends right now.
can I just mention something?
I hate that.
I mean, if
If the
it starts
race-
raining, if it
the
starts
race
raining,
ended-
the race would
If
end.
the
now.
race ended right now and the playoffs started today, Carson Hocevar would make it in on points. He'd be the he'd be the last one in on point. Nope,
Yeah, I mean,
he'd be the
we're-
first one out.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because
Nope.
Barry, right?
Where
No,
did Neff
Barry's
go?
below him. He's
Barry-
14th.
Barry's
I kicked him out.
20th in points.
I kicked him out for a second because he's being mean.
Just because I'm freaking calling him out for his garbage.
I agree. It is garbage.
I'm trying to talk. I'm just trying to create topics.
Don't look now, but Zane
Why is Larson?
Smith,
Larson has been bitching the entire race. My God.
and he pitted at lap 123. So he is the highest running car that pitted at lap 123. So he's got 13 laps in hand on the cars in front of him. Whoa, you're right there, no.
Yeah, I was
You have an
moving my
earthquake hit?
laptop.
Holy crap.
What is the deal with Larson today? Like, he's been in an angry mood.
Like we were saying, he's been that way since he
I
wrecked
think-
the first time at Indy in practice.
I don't think it's been this bad though.
Two
Oh,
of his
yeah.
teammates have outran him most of the day. Like Elliott's behind him, but Elliott was faster.
Yeah.
Now Reddick's closing in on Hamlin.
Thank you, Trey.
I do think there's something to Hendrick where like the other guys get a little jealous of like whoever's, you know. Or,
I mean,
Yeah,
I
this
think we
just
can
in.
see it,
Remember that
We can see
back
it.
in the day when Jeff Gordon used to drive there?
Well,
Yeah.
Neff, remember
Well,
when they had
Jimmy?
Those other guys got mad.
remember when they had the two race team shops? It was what was it, the 24 and the 5, and then the 48 and the 88 or something?
Yep.
I think it was 48 and 24 were together for a
48
while,
and 24 were together, and the
And the
5
five
and
were
88 were
winning.
together.
while the 5 and 88 did nothing.
Yeah.
And then I think
Well,
they
but to be
switched it.
fair, The 5 was the supposed test car
Yeah.
until Larson got.
And then
Oh, I
when
mean, even then, Mark Martin did a great job with that car.
and then I think when
Yeah.
Letarte, I think they switched it when Letarte went to the 88. They did 24, 88, 5, and 48.
Okay.
When Letarte and Dustin
Because
switched. 'cause
Chad wanted to keep Steve around.
yeah.
When did they combine all 4?
That was like
I think
It's
that's when
lit-
Jeff came in. Either when Chad came in or when Jeff came in. Like
I
Chad
think
became
they
the
combined
manage.
all 4 in like the late 2010s.
To management.
yeah. I think when
It was
Jeff came. Yeah.
Like when Byron started, Byron and Bowman kind of started.
Okay, then it wouldn't have been when Chad came in because Chad was on Byron's
was-
block.
Said
for
it
the
was
first
either
year.
Jeff or Chad.
Okay,
Yeah, Chad was Byron's crew chief for his first
for 1
win.
year, yeah.
First 2 years, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's-
Darian Grubb for 1 year.
That's when he switched from Jimmy. Yeah, because he switched for Jimmy, and then Jimmy had one
Had,
guy, and then
had
Did he
Brian
have
Stewart
Drake?
crew chief.
And then he
Drake Ives or
switched-
something? No,
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 Jimmy had
no.
Cliff.
he
Daniel.
ended with Cliff,
He
but he
did.
started with someone else. Cliff was the midseason one.
Cliff and Jimmy never won together.
I know that's so weird.
But Cliff only had Jimmy for what, a season and a half, and this was
Yeah,
not
something
like
like that.
prime. This was not prime,
Yeah.
I say that
Yeah.
was after the wreck, right?
and you could clearly tell Cliff was doing a lot of things because he took the same exact team the next year with Larson and won 10 races in the championship.
Yeah.
So that was
There you
clearly
go.
Jimmy. Jimmy was not.
All right, here's
Well,
your ones to
yeah.
watch for TV. They're watching Reddick.
If they get into a fight in Mexico City, will the Mexican authorities arrest the people?
I hope so.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm shocked. There's no Dale.
We're watching Boucher.
He's not Mexican. He's what? Cuban?
Mhm.
Nope.
Pitbull.
He's also not involved in NASCAR
Yeah.
anymore.
You know, he has an album called Trackhouse.
Yeah.
I think he's still a fan though.
He's a fan, and he only works one day
He
a
was-
year, so he might as well be.
He was
Hey,
at the
hey, he's got a
500
whole
this year.
football stadium named after him.
FIU.
He still only works one day a year.
What day?
No,
New
he-
Year's
he goes
Eve
on
every year,
tour.
Pitbull shows up. The rest of the year, we never hear from him.
He
No,
goes
he's
touring.
on tour.
He
He's
was
on
at the
tour.
Daytona 500.
My mom,
He
yeah, he
played at
performed
the
at the.
Daytona 500 this year.
Neff, are
Was
you
that
a
be-
Dale
was that-
hater?
Was that before or after he quit?
That was
Neff,
after.
I was
quit.
after.
He's supposed to have a press conference and they canceled. it.
Really? Interesting.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't think he's
Neff,
worth anything.
do you hate Mr. Worldwide or something?
I don't hate it.
There it is. See, playoff bubble. They're showing it too. Hocevar is the last one in.
For now. So
Bigger,
Bush
scary
gets up
one
here
is
with
plus 11
win.
for Alex Bowman.
Bush comes up and takes the win over.
Boop, boop.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
That would actually be cool if you end up having Bush and Hocevar fighting it out for the win,
That would be awesome.
and they're at the cut line. Caution! Caution!
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Muting.
Okay,
I like
Man,
the way
not
that
a big
21
deal.
car looks.
you ain't gonna lose
yeah,
sleep
it's a
over
throwback car.
Yeah.
it to like David Pearson or something. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's like
Wasn't
all
Pearson
white.
their
I
first
think it's
win?
their first race. Yeah, either the first
Yeah,
win
I
or
think
first
Pearson was the first win at Michigan,
Oh yeah, because he won
Ooh, we
like
have a
3 straight at
caution.
Michigan.
or was it Jarrett?
Oh,
No, it was before
God.
Jarrett.
He won like 4 straight at Michigan, I want to say. Pearson?
Seriously?
He won't love that.
Seriously?
What?
That was a
The-
nice play on
I guess-
words there, Mr. Lyle. I like that a lot.
Made me sigh.
Oh, tire fit. Oh, he wrecked again.
He wrecked again, trying to limp back to the pit.
Throwing Debris everywhere.
Debris.
Jacques
Deborah.
Debris.
That sounds like a hot name, though. Hello, my name is Debris.
Jacques Debris.
That doesn't sound like a hot name.
Yeah, that's crazy. Pearson won 9 times in Michigan.
Jeez. Whoa, Todd!
Dude, I'm telling you, if David Pearson had run full time on the regular,
Oh,
he'd have had 12 championships
yeah.
easily. Oh, that sucks.
Poor
Oh,
Todd.
no, wait. Maybe it does. Hang on.
It looks like he kind of just got
Maybe this
loose.
Now,
does.
for people who don't know why did David Pearson never want to run full time?
Because he only ran for money.
The
was the-
championship
he was the
wasn't a big
Mark
deal
of the
back
Cup
then.
Series
Really?
Back then. Yeah, he was the Mark Martin of the Cub Series back then. He just ran big money races. And then 3 different years he decided to run for a championship. Excuse me, 4 different years he decided to run for a championship, and he won 3 of them.
My stream just went out.
And even those 3 years, he didn't run the entire schedule, but he ran enough to win.
Oh
2.
my God, is that Rusty Wallace?
Ace win. That's Adam Cheek is trying to FaceTime me right now.
Why?
Answer it. Answer it.
Oh yeah, let me pull it up.
Why didn't he ask me?
You're on this too.
He did?
Hi, Adam.
Adam, why are you interrupting our video?
Wow, I'm getting like 3 Bryans. What's happening?
Adam, why are you FaceTiming and driving? That's illegal.
Hello.
It's the watch party, Adam.
Okay.
Hop on the watch party.
I'm driving.
You
can FaceTime, but you can't be on the watch.
We have an echo.
should I mute myself?
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face
stump?
of the earth.
Yeah.
Earth.
There are words to describe him, but I can't say it on air.
You actually
Bryan, you
can.
unmute yourself now.
I keep telling Trey Lyle that we can, because I send him samples of Ozzy Man.
Guys,
What I've
Yeah, but
learned from
Hey,
following
you
the
get
Ozzy Man,
demonetized.
you can't drop an F-bomb in the first 10 seconds of your video.
Really?
If you drop an F-bomb in the first 10 seconds of your video, you get demonetized.
Go!
After that,
Yes!
you're good.
Yes!
I think Trey just had a stroke.
Wow.
He did
You're about to
something.
see,
Carson
you're about to
Hocevar
see
just-
why.
Carson Hocevar just won the race.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh? Oh, Reddit got hosed by the Kez. Hosed by the Kez.
Oh, God.
Sage Smith P1, let's go!
I'm not there yet. We're pitting now.
Now we'll have a watch party moment.
So now we got to figure out what race that actually is of the Wood brothers, because their first win at Michigan was their first race at Michigan, and Cale
69.
Yarborough was driving 60-minute cleaners car.
Oh wow.
It's their first win at Michigan. That is the car.
Oh, so it's a
I'm
KO.
telling you, the first win in Michigan was Cale Yarborough driving the 60-minute
Yes,
cleaners car.
that's what the car is based off of.
The car does not say 60-minute cleaners on it. It says Motorcraft.
Yes, because that's their modern sponsor.
But they had Motorcraft on probably half of their wins at Michigan. So why would they not just throw it back to one of the Motorcraft schemes?
So
That's
it's on
just
June 15th,
dumb.
1969. Kelly Yarborough claimed victory in the first ever Cup Series race at Michigan behind the wheel of the number 21 Wood Brothers Racing Mercury.
Correct. 24th race of the year. There were 38 cars.
Yeah.
And then they came back later in the year and had 44 cars in the race. And he finished fourth. And Pearson won there 8 times.
That's the crazy thing is they had Cale Yarborough and they upgraded to David Pearson.
Yes,
Bill,
they did.
Like that's a wild statement to make.
Yes, they did.
Billy Scott tells his driver to save fuel.
Oh,
They always say save fuel.
yeah.
These freaking
What in Michigan?
Michigan
always,
races always end up
Michigan's
having
remember
fuel stuff.
how good old Junebug won his races?
Oh yeah, it's always a freaking fuel thing at Michigan.
remember Mayfield winning one.
What is this official pulling out of the car that was purple? What in the world
I
was
literally
that?
thought you said colonoscopy.
I mean,
No.
Tyler Reddick basically just got one of those.
Fire's got
Keselowski was his doctor.
Spire has 2 cars in the top 3 right
You
now.
know what their other car
Lord.
is?
What-
Haley.
Wood Brothers haven't won at Michigan in 34 years.
Dale
Dale
Jarrett.
Jarrett won in 1991.
Yeah.
All right, so if this becomes a fuel mileage race, odds Anthony Damcott tweets out they should investigate his fuel tank.
So Joey Logano's gonna win. Where's Logano at?
Yeah, because Logano can save gas like nobody's business.
Like Scott Dixon. Logano is, as I do,
27th.
27th.
Carson Hocevar told the field is about 4 laps short.
New top 10, by the way, before we get this restart. Zane Smith, Carson Hocevar, Michael McDowell, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Josh Berry, Chris Boucher, Chase Briscoe has recovered, Ty Gibbs 9th, Bo Wallace 10th, Hamlin 11th. By the way, Reddick is now all the way down to 19th. I was screaming about Zane Smith being P1. If you've watched any episode of Happy Hour, you would understand why, Rebecca. So
He's a simp for Zane.
it's
Yeah, he
called
is.
it's called living my gimmick to the fullest extent.
Got to play it for all it's worth. That's his brand.
Just like me and
Didn't somebody
Stingray.
comment that Briscoe was done for the day? I don't see it.
Did you not hear me when I say Briscoe is 8th?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to point out, because in the comments I thought somebody had said Briscoe was done for the day, and I was going to point out to that person that he is now 8th. So
That was
they are
Keith.
not done.
Oh, Stingray Rob to the lead.
Where?
Stingray.
Now that
Hey.
is my boy.
Best thing to come out of
Oh, I
Idaho.
am sorry to hear that, Brian.
And notice the keyword there said come out of, because that's what people want to do. Leave Idaho.
You know what, Trey? I'm gonna tell Storm you say that,
Okay.
and she is gonna get mad at you.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
this is how I'm
But
starting
she
my
ain't
first.
packing
Wait
her
a minute.
crap and coming back to Idaho, I'll tell you
I mean,
that.
look what I'm doing for our
up,
1
Neff.
year. Look what I'm doing right now for our 1 year anniversary. Do you think I'm already on thin ice?
Yeah, my wife would never let me do that. What
Keyword
are you
is
doing
I don't-
for? What are you doing for 1 year anniversary?
Doing a watch party.
we
Duh.
went- Dinner on Friday night,
It's a watch party.
and Zane already lost the lead.
I told you.
It would have been a great end to our watch party.
Told you Hocevar is going to win the race.
Larson,
Kyle Busch making a move to
Guess
the
who's
bottom,
back in the lead?
pack.
Kyle Larson versus Carson Hocevar. Oh, Larson lost it.
Kyle Busch trying to wrap the
Carson
bottom. picking up
Hocevar
some
is
spots.
in the lead. I will
told
say
you
this:
Hocevar
Michigan,
won the race because of that.
the way Michigan is right now with
Four
the
wide.
draft, I wonder if it's going to be easier to save here.
If you're not in the lead, it should be. Or if you're Logano and you're back in the
Commercial
middle
free
of
the rest
like
of the way.
15th.
Oh!
Well, Trey needs to change
Trying to
his
let it
pants
poop
now.
out.
They're cheering
That's
for
what it sounded
Hocevar like he's Dale Jr.
Well, he's more like Dale Sr., but okay.
Thank you.
No, he's saying the fans are cheering for him like he's Dale Jr.
Yeah.
Right, because he's more like Dale Sr. than Dale Jr.
Now,
Uh-oh,
was that
Ty
real
Gibbs.
crowd noise? Or
Ty
was that
Gibbs going to come up and give him a
Come on.
shot.
Dane, finish ahead of Ty Gibbs. I need this.
We should get Ed Lane on here.
I keep saying that. Trey won't let him come on. I think it would be a great guest appearance. Speaking of which, if any of you out there in Watch Party land have a company that would be interested in being a sponsor of the Watch Party, please let me know. I'm working that angle with like 5 different companies right now, and if somebody gets on, we'll actually let a representative of the company be part of a watch party.
I love it.
How can they reach out to you, Neff?
MNeff short track on the X, MNeff at racingbrotherhood.com, or just drive to Myrtle Beach and yell my name and I'll find you.
I like that
True.
better.
I've done it.
The easiest way is just come to the Duplin Winery any night of the week that ends in Y besides Sunday, and I will probably be there.
Rebecca, yeah, we did see the Squirrel versus Ty Dillon earlier. The Squirrel, Kyle Larson, got mad at Ty Dillon for racing him.
So that was his
Hey.
thing. He ran into Larson on pit lane.
Hey,
Was that
how
the
about
Squirrel thing?
SVG right now? 17th.
Or is that supposed to be good?
For SVG? Yes.
He was
Okay.
15th last week.
I think if he maintains top 20s in ovals, well, he didn't finish in the top 15. I think he's got to maintain top 20s in ovals.
The thing is, he's
Show
kind of
improvement.
becoming the second best Trackhouse car.
Which is really bad.
Yeah.
Well, not for him.
No.
Yeah, good for him. Bad
I think
for
his goal.
the
His
third.
goal. I would assume if you gave him True Serum, he said his goal by this time of the year was to be, top 20ish in ovals, and maybe had the win at Coda, but at least gearing up to these next we're on road courses 4 of the next 5 weeks or something like that, crazy like that.
Yeah.
Do you count Pocono as a road course?
No.
No.
Well, I'm
Pocono's
saying
got road
Drunk.
course characteristics.
So
At
Mexico
least-
City,
Mexico City,
Pocono,
Chicago,
Atlanta.
and then you have Chicago, and then Watkins Glen.
No, it goes Mexico City, Pocono, Atlanta, Sonoma, Chicago, then Sonoma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so-
good stuff.
And then you still
That's
got
the
the
thing.
Glen.
He could be racing for $1 million if he'd started the year better.
And he's won at 2 of those tracks already, Chicago and Sonoma.
I feel like somebody that started almost 30 races should be able to have one top 10 on an oval.
I think someone that started 100 races should already win by now, but look at what happened to Ty Gibbs.
You would think. And I will not lie. I am shocked that he is not. Because I
Same.
saw him in late models, and the dude could wheel it in a late.
Byron is closing in on.
I just don't get why he's
Closer.
struggling so much.
Yeah, I mean he's good in
It's like he
Xfinity.
was right.
He was good in Xfinity.
Well,
Maybe
what's
the
the
whole
difference
time.
for him this year? He's got a different crew chief.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's working out.
I honestly wonder if it's the Joey Logano thing too. Because Logano, when
Yeah.
he was at Gibbs, everybody in the organization pretty much looked at him as the kid. And when
Yeah.
he said things needed to be done to the car and they needed to try stuff, everybody's like, yeah, sure, just get in the car and drive it. And they didn't take him seriously. And then when he went to Penske, they actually listened to what he wanted in the car, and he started winning races.
Yeah, the
It's-
difference is Ty Gibbs can fire any of the people he's talking to, and Joey Logano couldn't.
No, Ty Gibbs cannot fire anybody. He could suggest
yeah,
it, but they ain't doing it.
I
Because I
mean,
promise you,
I'm telling
Grandpa-
you, I think
I
he
promise
could
you,
fire.
Grandpa's going to be just like everybody else and go, shut up and drive the car.
He could fire anyone in the 54 Xfinity car.
Yeah, that's true. He's
That's
also
his car.
it's also he'll be they have to think long term. Like if they get on his good side now, they'll have a nice job by the time he becomes the owner of the place.
Trey, look at that comment.
As a barber, I love this show. It is every stage of beard growth.
I guess
You
I'm
got-
the end.
Brian with a little stubble. You got Neff with the goatee.
You
I
and
do have a little bit of hair on the sides too, but yes, it's mostly goatee.
me with the
And
the
then you
full-
got Lyle's got the freaking hockey playoff beard
The
going.
I
neck.
got the little stubble.
No, it's not a neck beard. This is
Okay.
You just got the. Ugh.
look.
The
Yeah.
very
See, so
car.
now Polar Nights has got me thinking I got to reach out to the Kraken guys and see if we can get some beard product for this thing.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Anybody that
somebody-
wants to check them out, Kraken
Who's that?
Skulls. Take a look.
Don't give him a free
Kraken Skulls
advertisement.
got some.
Yeah, come on now.
Hey, work with me here.
I remember
If-
when the Maestro guys were sponsoring some stuff in the late 2010s. They gave out some free beard oil, and that stuff was nice.
I'd say
Oh.
Kraken Skulls is great beard oil, man.
You
I
got
love
beard
that
oil
stuff.
too.
They've got the balm and the beard oil.
Sponsor us.
That's right.
Send us some free
Uh,
products.
Just like when we had the Manscaped, I still use that thing on a regular on my beard,
I'm
not on my
scared
jaw.
with the
I'm
conversation.
scared of how you were going with there.
So Elliott and Gregson are the ones that pitted on lap 50 with the splash off, and they have 3 laps better fuel than everyone else. And both Byron, Larson, and Hocevar appear to all their crews are all saying they're short as of right now.
The splash off.
Byron, Hocevar, and Larson, you said
Like
are all
the top
short?
off. I didn't want to say top off. Yeah.
So you're saying
Splash
Zane
off.
Smith
I've
might win
never
a fuel
heard
mileage race?
Hey, if he does, then we're gonna
I'm telling you,
celebrate.
we're gonna get
You're
we're gonna
gonna
get
get
another
naked,
caution in
Trey.
here, and it ain't gonna matter.
Trey will get naked if he wins.
I will not get naked. I promise you
You
that.
will. It just
I might
won't
take
be
my
on
shirt off.
camera.
I might take my shirt off.
You will. It just won't be on camera.
Hey, yo,
Attaboy.
Zane Smith the 4th.
Doesn't matter. Hocevar is going to be your winner.
He's short by 5 laps now.
Yeah. You get a caution, it's all over. You can
You
save
say
that
5
because you know a
laps?
caution. A
I think
caution will take
Larson's
10
in the best
laps,
spot.
and you can save a lap of fuel for every 2 laps of caution. That would be it. How come we're getting throttle?
He's
Hey,
zigging
they're
and
Burn
talking-
zagging.
bar.
they're
Burn
talking
bar
about-
is what we need if they're trying
Yeah,
to
we
save
need the burn
gas.
bar.
They're talking about saving fuel.
Yeah, because he's lifting.
But they should show the burn bar if they're talking about saving fuel.
I don't see Byron lifting a whole lot.
He did on the front stretch.
That is crazy that they're hitting 200 just before the corner.
Back in the day, you used to hear 2010.
Rebecca, you're becoming one of my favorite commenters on here.
Sorry, Rebecca.
Ew, I agree. I apologize,
agree.
Rebecca. I'm
wow,
just saying.
I
he's got
thought,
a weird
I thought
obsession
Rebecca
with
had the hots for you, Trey. I guess I was wrong.
I'm good.
I know you're good, but I thought Rebecca was holding a little bit of a flame for you, man. There's
Busher,
burn bar, burn bar, burn bar. Hocevar doing 4.7. Larson cruising around at 5.8.
We should
Scott
start
Gray
the front
said
stretch
number-
burn bar.
Busher is
Which is-
17. Sorry. God damn it, Massie. Busher is 1 lap or 2 laps short.
yes, I was about to say that before I got interrupted.
How does it feel?
Why does Nolen sound like he's 20 feet away from the microphone now? Pull the
What's
mic
up?
closer, buddy.
Can
There
hear
you
me
go.
now?
That's
Yeah.
better. Yeah, that's better.
Baby.
I'm old. I've been at tracks way too many times without proper hearing protection.
Honestly saying,
I can't hear
I'm with
very
you
good.
on that.
Neff, my 2 jobs are mowing lawns, which feature loud engines and race cars. You
Yep.
think my hearing's
Right.
good? I don't think so.
Dude, first time I ever went to the infield at Bristol
Oh,
was the worst
Bristol's
ever.
cool.
I did not
That's
have
so rough.
hearing protection the
Wow.
first time. And when they ran the modifieds that first time, my
Buzzing
ears
bees.
rang for 2 weeks. 2 weeks after that.
I tell you what, Phoenix, right there where the dog leg, and you could be at
Yeah.
the inside fence, right? You're like inches from the cars. That killed my hearing.
Hamlin gets by Boucher.
Yeah, so Larson's
sixth.
getting the best fuel
About to put-
mileage.
About to put Zane Smith another spot down.
We're gonna have all this for a Larson win, aren't we?
Byron is clawing his way back up to Hocevar, and as soon as I said that, he washes up the track and gives it all back. Whoa, Boucher about pooped himself.
Hmm.
30 laps to go.
Larson is just cruising right now. He's not pushing it. He's letting these guys go out there and run, and he's just coasting along, saving fuel to make sure he's got enough for the end. The other question is, where's Logano?
but what?
Logano.
Logano, yeah, he was 27th on the restart. I don't think.
Because you know he's saving. Same with Kez. You know, Keselowski's stud at saving too.
He
Burn bar. Larson's up to 6.1 MPG on the burn bar.
Logano is 30th. I don't think he's gonna win.
Trey Lyle with the absolute kiss of death right there.
If he wins, he's 30th with 30 laps to go.
Yeah.
So that means
28 of them are going to run out of fuel.
And 2 cars
and
ahead
there's
of
gonna
him
be a
have more
caution.
fuel.
There's going to be a caution, and he'll pass Larson for the win at the end.
So if Larson wins, he would have the last 4 Chevy wins at Michigan.
That was your Steven stat of the day.
Stat of the day. Stat of the day.
He won,
Stat of the day. Stat of the day.
Nasty.
Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
Oh, I love that you're.
Steven Stump has all of the stats that you need to know ahead of this week's upcoming race. Here's Steven's sizzling stats.
Neff,
Very
do you
nice.
like Pandora's version of stat of the day?
I do.
I do too.
I do. You feel like you have to smoke a cigarette when it's done, but I
Right?
totally do.
It's so good though.
I've been trying to come up. I want to do one of those just to submit to them. I'm sure they won't use it, but I want to do something that's
good.
kind
I
of
love that show.
an Eminem rap kind of thing.
Oh, it's so good.
We could get Neff rapping like Eminem. That would go viral.
I just love a good old fuel mileage race.
I don't know. We get them so rarely these days.
It's got to be a good fuel mileage race, though. Like he said at Bristol, when he freaking went 168 laps without pitting at Bristol to win the race.
Hey, something interesting is happening. Ty Gibbs is caught up to this car train.
Luke Lambert tells
because
Carson Hocevar
he's
do
running
not
for all
make-
he's worth, and he's going to run out of gas with 10 laps to go.
Cliff Daniel says if the 54 gets by us, think about how you can keep him and keep doing what you're doing and ride with him. You've been saving more than the 2 ahead of you. They've picked it up.
$25 laps to go.
But no, Michigan's a good place for a fuel mileage race.
Oh, Michigan's almost always a fuel mileage race.
Bristol is not a good place for a fuel
There's
mileage.
2 places that are good for fuel mileage. What's the other one, Massey?
Pocono.
There you go.
Or your name's not.
Well,
Massey,
your name's not
there.
Massey, but that's why I didn't say anything because he asked Massey.
But that's correct, Trey. Michigan and Pocono.
Because they're long.
Indianapolis
They're
is
big,
another one that can be a
True.
fuel mileage race too.
because they're big tracks that
Yes.
that rely so much. Yeah, but they're not drafting tracks, but they also do rely very heavily on the draft, like here. Like the reason why Larson can save it so much and maintain is he's just staying in the draft of those 2 cars.
And when a road course race becomes fuel mileage, it can be pretty good. Like Chase Elliott's first win. That was pretty good one.
Yeah, it has to be a long track that's not a super speedway to be a fuel
Yeah.
mileage race because it doesn't feel like a mile and a half, like maybe, but
Yeah, I mean, don't
Auto
forget
Club 8 tires.
Austin Dillon's 600 win.
Oh yeah, that was a good 600. But the best 600 fuel mileage race is 2011.
When Junior ran out coming out of fourth.
Kick him out, Trey. Kick him out. Kick him out. He's gone.
I thought Letarte was going to freaking jump off the pit box and hang himself. There.
I will say to their credit, they were like, let's dunk on our two booth guys to start out. Here's this moment, and they just show that moment.
Yeah.
I will say the 600,
class.
since it's so long, is a good fuel mileage race, even if it's at a mile and a half, just because it's the extra 100 miles.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
And there
I
would
don't
be
like
more
the way they do the stages for
good
it.
fuel mileage races if they were all 100 miles. Martinsville would be a great 500 mile race.
No.
It would.
You would end up with like a Cody Ware win.
People would have to change brakes. It would be amazing.
I hear a scanner.
Who's
I'm
got
gonna-
their
Sorry.
TV on?
Sorry.
I got it. It's
'Cause I don't have
Bryan.
mine on.
Wait, no, I was on mute.
No, you weren't.
No,
I
you
just
weren't.
Yeah, we
muted you.
heard something.
Oh, sorry. I was listening to Hocevar. They're giving Hocevar the option on if he wants to stay at the front or if he wants to go back and save.
I say might as well stay up front because the caution comes. You
Exactly,
have to
that's
track.
what I
Yeah,
would do.
caution's going to come out with about 10 to
Hello.
go.
We're running
If
out.
If you're
Trying
not
to
going to
do
make
his
it, I just give me the track position and then I run out.
If I die, I die.
Yeah, I'm like,
Thank you, Kirk.
I rather be, if I'm me, I want to be Hocevar or I want to be Larson.
So
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin's good
Don't-
on fuel. Ty is running 80% throttle, and then I don't know what second and third are.
I think Busher's short.
Iron is making a good run at him.
I bet Busher's not because Busher's another fuel saving guy.
His first Xfinity win. Fuel mileage.
Logano's up a spot. He's in 29th. Kyle effing Busch is down 2 spots now out of the playoffs. Tied for 2 spots now. Or tied for 1 spot down, depending on your perspective. Which is impressive considering the Bowman is not in the race.
The Bowman.
Oh, I was like,
What happened to Barry? I guess he must have
Oh!
started major saving.
oh, flat tire.
He's
oh,
got a flat tire!
Flat tire, flat tire.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Left rear, left rear!
I'll see it in about 20 minutes.
We need the carcass. We need the carcass. We got to get a caution. We need a carcass.
Look at that point. Oh my God. Amazon cut to the point thing right at the right time.
How do we not get a carcass? That would have been everything.
Look at that point. He goes from making it as a winner, even plus 16 if he was second, to minus. He's now minus 18.
They're going to do all 4 tires? I would have thought they would have done 2 tires.
Well, they're going to fill the whole.
That's
I think they got to fill the
choice.
whole thing up.
Heck no, it's only 18 laps to go. 1 can and you're done.
Or they want the. Wow.
Oh, Hocevar. That's
He's down a lap now. He's
Sorry,
done.
Massey.
He's done.
Hey, you guys didn't say who it was. So I
On the
didn't-
plus side, Zane Smith
Here's
picked up
one of
another
the
spot.
top
He's
three.
now 6th.
Oh, I
Okay,
thought
well,
I
I'm glad we
yelled-
didn't spoil it for you then.
I thought I yelled Hocevar.
If you did, I didn't hear it. So good.
All right, so new top 17 laps to go. Byron leads behind Larson, Gibbs, and Hamlin, all within 1 second of each
That's
other. Then there's a
crazy.
bigger gap between
The
Busher,
Bush-
Zane Smith,
Who's saving?
Ross
It looks like he
Chastain,
ran
Bubba
over.
Wallace, Kyle Busch. and
Kyle
Creed.
Busch in 9th.
Man, but I'm with you enough. I think he should have only changed 2 tires.
Yeah, I don't understand going for 4 there.
I guess it's left
Unless they-
side.
unless they
throws the
weren't
balance
sure.
off.
Unless they weren't sure if the right rear tire was
Yeah.
flat. Because there was smoke coming out of the right side when he came on the pit lane. And I think that was
Yeah.
because the right front was barely touching the ground because the car was tilted back on the left rear. But
It's going to
Yeah,
hurt
man.
me in the front stretch standings, but I still felt good about that Hocevar pick.
don't look now, but young Tyrone just lost a spot to Dennis.
Denny
My
on the
brother
long run.
Tyrone.
And,
Dennis is turning up the wick right now.
Yeah, I think
Hamlin-
he saved his
and
stuff
it's
early.
and it's confirmed Hamlin is the best on fuel, right?
Yeah, I think he's
No.
going to win this thing.
So
Yeah, he can
here
make it.
here we go. Engine failure running top 3 at Charlotte, second place in Nashville, and then now the left rear tire goes down while leading with less than 20 to go. Oh, Hamlin's going. He can make it, so he's just going.
Yep.
It was like, what was it? Kyle, these guys were saving, then all of a sudden Adam Stevens told Kyle Busch he was good, and he just took off.
Yeah,
Was it at Pocono that one time?
that's the thing. You do
Rudy
your
just said it
saving
was
early in
close.
the run, and then you can go at the end.
Hey, you remember that year when Tony Stewart was pushing the clutch in at Pocono and just coasting for miles.
That year, Kyle didn't have his transmission was broken. He like only had fourth gear, and he had to save fuel to win.
Yeah, because they didn't want to pit again because he couldn't get out of pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
Hamlin is now second and quickly closing in on William Byron.
Yeah, Dennis is going to grab the lead here with like 12 to go.
Go get the lead, and then you can just lift. You can save more fuel.
I think Denny. I think we can get a good old Dennis Hamlin win.
He is a two-time Michigan winner.
Which he would be the third person after 700 start to get a win or something like that. Something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm. What, like maybe Petty and Gordon have done it?
And Martin and Mark
Martin.
I think Byron's well, I'd say that as Hamlin keeps closing in, but it appears that Byron is
Byron's pushing it now. I think
Yeah.
Byron has decided I got to go.
He might run out.
We'll see what happens.
They need to tear apart all their fuel tanks.
Okay,
Whole
Anthony.
top 5.
Okay, Anthony Damcott.
So
Here
Chris
goes
Gale is-
Dennis. Is
Chris-
like, I'm not following you down there. I'm
Another
just
update,
going.
Chris Gale is telling Denny Hamlin that he's only a quarter of a lap good on fuel as opposed to half a lap. But he said push for the lead and then back up to the others and save fuel.
Yeah.
But I think he just pushed.
All right. Did
Oh,
Krusty,
God. All right. I got to tag. I'm texting Ed Lane right now.
Did Krusty not
Hey.
have
Krusty
700?
He didn't drive for 700, I don't think.
Yes, he did.
Mhm.
706. So probably not.
That was his final. So he got 700 like with a couple
Kurt
races
Busch
to
did.
go in his career.
Kurt Busch did. He's at 776.
Oh wow.
Michael Waltrip, maybe. He's at 784.
I texted Ed too.
Okay.
But I don't know if Wyatt's still in here. I was on through the gears with Wyatt. And I said Byron and Hamlin top 3.
Why watching Frontstretch.com?
What about Elliott? Elliott had 828 starts.
I wonder.
He
Okay,
wanted,
so I wonder if Hamlin's now going back to saving because he's closed the gap. Oh, you know who's here comes Chris Buescher.
Yep. Told you Buescher was saving. He's coming.
That's what she said.
Bang bang.
See, now don't get on me about making innuendos, smart ass.
You made the innuendo. I just said that's what she said.
Yeah,
Oh,
he said that's what she said. You're over there saying, back when I used to shave my.
Excuse me?
No, I said we used to have Manscaped
8
as a
laps ago.
sponsor, and I still use my Manscaped to trim my facial hair, is what I said. Who
8
is
laps ago.
Racket? There's a comment that says Racket, take cover. What does that even mean?
Racket.
Hendrick
Racket.
Motorsports has not won here since 2014. Keep that in mind.
Mm.
Hamlin was trying to ask Ty for help to get around, but apparently the 54 is still saving fuel. Here we go.
I think we're waiting until 5 to go. I think Denny's going to hang out till 5 to go, and then he's going to
I
turn
think
up the
Denny
light.
wants to push him to make him run out.
All right, I'm gonna mute you guys with.
Good choice.
Tell me when you hit 5 to go, and I'll mute you guys.
Well, okay.
We're at 6.5 to go right now. They're going into turn 3 with 7 to go. So we're at 6 and about a quarter right now.
I won't mute myself so you hear my reaction still.
Six to go. Dennis looking on the high side, winding it up. He's going to get the draft. See, I love that Dennis is not chasing him when Byron's trying to break the draft.
Snake.
He's just like, screw that. I'm just going.
I really hope that this is not forcing his fiance.
Quote from Ed Lane: "Take each other out."
Oh,
Take
come
each
on.
other out. Yep, I got the same exact one. I really hope that this battle's not forcing
5
his
to go.
fiance to go into labor.
All right, I'm gonna beat you guys.
Okay.
Oh my God!
You still hear me?
Trey Lyle's being dumb.
Duh.
Dennis on the bottom. What'd I tell you? 5 to go. This is where the lead's going to happen.
All right.
Yep.
I got 7 coming to 6 to go here.
I'm coming to 5 to go.
Ty
These
Gibbs.
two are all by themselves.
Ty Gibbs is drawing it in, man. These two guys
Oh.
running side to side is getting Gibbs a shot.
Side by side.
They stay side by side. Ty can pass them both.
Yep.
Busher's right there too. Don't
I think
forget
I'm
Chris
gonna
Busher.
laugh at them over
54's
here.
coming.
He's gonna send it. Yep.
Get ready right here. Slide job! Slide job!
P1,
Oh.
Danny Hamlin.
He got loose. Byron got pushed up the track. Hamlin's underneath.
Dennis to the lead with 3 to go. 3 for Dale.
Here comes.
Busher going by Gibbs. Busher going by Gibbs.
Ty's coming back on him.
Is Byron going to have enough
Danny's gonna clear him.
gas to make it?
I think if you're Byron, you now go to save mode.
Screw
Yeah,
that,
they're
I'm
side
trying to
by
win a
side
race.
all the way around the track.
Danny's pulling away. There it is. There's the stat. Wins after 700 win.
Is he cool?
22 for Richard. Holy cats. Here's where Busher should get him going into 1, and he's going to come up about 6 car lengths short.
Oh, he's clear now. He's clear. Coming to 3 to go.
See, Busher should get a
He's
draft here.
gone.
Doesn't seem to be closing, unfortunately.
If he's got enough fuel, he's in. Who's that?
Now,
Busher's
I mean,
coming.
Hamlin. That's
That's a
what
good
she
stat
said.
right there. Wins after
Oh, no.
700
Byron's
starts.
out. Byron's out. Byron's out.
Oh, Byron's out. Byron's out. One white flag presented by Credit.
White
I'm not
flag.
saying that.
Man, you guys are
Can
I
fast.
think
he
something's
make it?
happening because those two are talking.
2.5 to go.
Thank God I got mine muted.
Busher's got to make up 1.2 seconds. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. This is going to be a
Busher-
Dennis victory.
About to make a move for second.
Dennis victory.
He's like 2 laps behind.
We should type it in the
24 's
comments
out.
and then pop it up on the screen so that it
Well, I
shows
got
up on him.
700. Like 10 guys.
Lyle, you're so mean.
Busher.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm helping someone else.
Okay. Checker
Danny
flag.
Hamlin.
Denny's
Dennis
good
Hamlin
here.
grabs the
7 enough
win.
lead.
Boucher second. Gibbs is third.
Half
Wallace
lap,
fourth.
third up,
Kyle
1.5 to go.
Larson rounding out your top 5. Chastain is 6th. Zane Smith comes home 7th.
Busher around the 24.
8
24's
for
out.
Kyle Busch.
24's out.
Ryan Priest 9th.
Oh,
Brad Keselowski
Denny ran him out of gas.
brings her home 10th.
Hey!
Keselowski.
He should have
Oh,
just
I want-
taken the.
Did Jones
the
finish
second
ahead of
place
Hocevar?
finish.
Winner,
I don't
winner.
know the answer to
Danny
that.
Hamlin, chicken dinner.
Denny coming. The white flag's coming out of turn 2. Busher's probably like 10, 15 car lengths back.
Hey, good run for Bubba
Overstay.
Wallace. Back-to-back good runs for Bubba Wallace after a bad stretch. Probably saved his
And
playoff.
he looks like he's going slow. Around the final corner, coming to the checker flag. And it is Dennis. Sir Dennis Hamlin, the third, 4th junior, winning.
Junior the third. Junior the third.
Yes, Rebecca will be
Thank
around
you,
for
McLovin.
Mexico.
You bet we
Yeah,
will, Rebecca.
That was fun. That was
We're
a
gonna
lot of
be eating
fun.
tacos and burritos all day long.
Fun finish. Credit to Denny.
What a drive.
Probably
That
had
was
some
him.
amazing.
churros too.
Saved to the max, pushed when he had to.
Here's the final results. We can share these. Denny Hamlin first, Chris Buescher second, Ty Gibbs third, Bubba Wallace fourth, Larson fifth, Chastain. How about the boy Zane Smith? Great strategy. He gets a top 10. Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski, and ultimately
Hosefar ends up
being the final place Michigander. And Neff, as I stated, Joey Logano finishes 22nd.
He was coming though.
Where did Bubba come from? He was
Bubba
back
was-
in the top 10 last I looked, and he finished fourth.
17th. He was, well, I think he had a good car all day. He had bad restarts. I think if he goes back, I mean, these last 2 weeks, if you want to talk about it, I know no one's going to talk about Bubba Wallace these last 2 weeks. This was a guy who was 33rd, 35th, 33rd, 3 weeks in a row, and went from one point last week was 20 points above the cut line, which is basically like one bad race, you're below it. Look at what happened to Hocevar. He went from in to minus 20 because of the flat tire.
Yep.
He is now, I think, back up to plus 60 something above the cut line. He is ninth in points. So
so is Dennis now tied for most wins for the season with Bell?
Is his 3?
Yeah.
And Larson
Larson
right?
has 3.
Larson's got 3 too. So Bell, Larson, and Hamlin all have 3.
But I think Denny got his bad luck out of the way already, and he's going to make a run for the regular season title.
I would just like to see him get a championship. And I'm not a big Denny fan, but I really would like to see him get it, just so that Mark can continue.
Is that
to be
cheers?
The
Wait a minute.
driver to never win one. Oh, Denny always gets cheers. Are you kidding?
He gets booed.
Oh, he gets cheers too, though. And then when they interview him, he'll.
That's the first time I've heard in a while. That's the first time I've heard in a while. It's majority cheers and not boos.
Wait till he gets interviewed. He reminds them that he beat their favorite driver today.
He said he said he's going to retire that phrase. I think it's 11 against the world now.
He got some boos. I hear some boos.
Well, yeah, you're going to get.
No, I'm saying it's more cheers than
nobody
boos.
is universally loved. Van Giz, 18th.
Oh, he did it again.
What? I beat your favorite driver?
He said, "Daddy, I beat your favorite driver."
Nice. Hocevar 29th. Byron 28th. Blaney 32nd. Good Lord. Old Custer is 35th, and the Bowman DFL.
All right, if you want to listen to more post-race reaction, tune into the post-race conversation. Myself and Kyle Benjamin will be chatting it up for a little bit, and then I'll be done for the night. So we'll see you next week. Congrats to Denny Hamlin. This is probably the second biggest thing to happen this week, assuming he has his kid.
I hope so.
I thought you were going to say your girlfriend moving in.
Well,
I thought your girlfriend moving in was the biggest thing to happen this week, Trey.
No, I'm saying for Denny.
Oh, well, you didn't say for Denny. You said
I had a very good outro, Neff, and you had to interrupt it. Neff, I had a good outro.
I can't let you have good outros. I leave you alone on the intro. I can't leave you alone on the outro.
Okay. Denny just trolled the crap out of him. He did the OH.
Nice.
So that can get some boost. All right. Mike Neff, he'll probably be back here next week because he likes to do all of these. We'll see if the other two hooligans return. We'll sign off for now. Thank you so much. Thanks so much to our commenters. We'll be back next week to react to the race at Mexico.